Jack, why do you insist on doing this dumb internet shit on TV?
I look and see, it's not just me.
This place is a fucking joke, man. You're a clown, I quit.
So many others have stood where I stand. We are the young, so raise your hand. So many others have stood where I stand. We are the young, so raise your hand. They call us problem child. We spend our lives on trial. We walk an endless mile. We are the youth gone wild. We stand and we won't fall. We're one and one for all. The writing's on the wall. We are the youth gone wild.
No. It doesn't make logical sense. But it makes
yes, of course.
But it makes wrestling booking sense. Of course, this makes no sense. Of course, okay, it makes no sense. However, in pro wrestling booking, which often makes no sense, you would do that. It's about making money. It's not about anything else. Wrestling has always been about making money first and foremost. That's it.
I look and see, it's not just me.
Last weekend was the greatest weekend in AEW history. This is the greatest week.
I look and see, it's not just me.
My security, my safety, my life was in danger at a wrestling show.
So many others have stood where I stand. We are the young, so raise your hand. So many others have stood where I stand. We are the young, so raise your hand. They call us problem child. We spend our lives on trial. We walk an endless mile. We are the youth gone wild. We stand and we won't fall. We're one and one for all. The writing's on the wall. We are the youth gone wild. They call us problem child. We spend our lives on trial. We walk an endless mile. We are the youth gone wild. We stand and we won't fall. We're one and one for all. The writing's on the wall. We are the youth gone wild. Let it get wild. Yeah.
If you're familiar with how we do things often here on these Wednesdays, it's a lot like one of my favorite movies, Time Cop.
What? Fuck you. Fuck you.
Yeah!
Call Stephen P. News. If you need to sue. An outlaw mud show or two. Goes with the rest.
What do we got? Super Dave, Pro Wrestle Clips. Tony Khan has Camille and Megan Baines sitting at home being paid since 2023 for nothing. Come on now. It's not going to be the pot calling some kettle black on that one. Truth is the truth. Vacker was more over than Monet. Yes. I'm sorry. I'm reading slow. Vacker was more over than Monet and is going to the big times. Absolutely. And I said that. I think I covered that show. In fact, I know we did. And I pointed out, I'm going to go back and listen to my own.
Ooh, what's happening, guys? Welcome to another eclectic edition of PWT Live Show. Yeah, I am your host, the infallible Phil Marks. Joining me today, the handsome, the hunky, the huge Husey is here, ladies and gentlemen. Husey's here. A round of applause for Husey. How you doing, Husey?
Very good, but I can also confirm that since August I've been on a training regime where I've lost a lot of weight in my core, so my dick has gotten quite big again. So
well, that's good to know. I won't have as hard of a time trying to find it next time we're hanging out.
I'll send you a dick pic someday. It's quite impressive. It's thick.
Well, we got Husey here tonight. Guys, make sure you hit like, make sure you hit subscribe, make sure you guys check out Hughesy's channel as well, Hughesy Entertainment on YouTube. Follow him on X at the Hughesy, and of course, producing Keeping It 100. How's things going over on that front?
Terribly. Conan was yelling at me the other day because numbers are way down.
Yeah,
But they won't change anything on their side. Like they sent me the audio of the Kofi Kingston interview,
Yeah.
and my whole thing is, well, people would like the visual,
yeah.
and no.
No, he's like, fuck that.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So,
dude.
so basically, Conan wants everything. Conan and Disco want everything to change, but they won't actually do anything on their side to change it, and it's just. And then they let a lot of these guys in the Patreon send in emails, and they ask questions like legitimate questions, like, "What are your top 5 favorite pies?" It's like, are you fucking kidding me? Like somebody actually sat there and thought, you know what would be interesting content? A pie list.
Oh my god. Well, speaking of pie, Hughesy, we got a lot to get to this evening. I know I only have you for a chunk of time. I appreciate you being here. It's got to be like an ungodly hour right now. Over
7 past midnight, which sounds like an Iron Maiden lyric.
So, what do you want to start with? Hughesy, let me ask you, actually, do you have any allegedlys you want to throw our way?
Allegedly.
Or do you want to, we got some WWE news, we have some AEW news. I don't know if you have any allegedlys you want to throw our way for either side, but yeah, anything on the top of your mind that you want to talk about or bring to the show?
Well, one of the things that I heard, I can't remember who it was,
Right.
but so it's quite obvious at the minute that Orton versus that Orton versus Rhodes is the WrestleMania plan.
Right.
And I don't know if you've covered this, but it's just most people know, WWE always have like 5-6 backup plans in place just in case if plan A doesn't work out, then we'll go to plan B, plan C, and then the other letters of the alphabet, which I'm not going to bore you by going into them. I know the alphabet and I don't have to brag. So one of the things that I'd heard was that if something goes wrong with Orton, because we all know his back injury is legit, all that stuff, it may be Cody versus Jacob Fatu, and Conan actually said on Keeping 100 that he thinks if that match were to happen, he cannot see Cody being a babyface.
Yeah, why would he? Jacob's getting so over. That would be pretty crazy. And that is kind of a WrestleMania spoiler, if that is. So spoilers, guys, should have told you beforehand. But yeah, but it's pretty obvious they're building to Orton, though, with Rhodes. And obviously, yeah, Orton's back. And he's older. I mean, he earned the right to show up kind of whenever he wants to. But what have you heard about, like, if anything, about, Jericho possibly coming over, and Edge? Everybody believes that WWE's teasing Edge heavily for this Cena retirement tour. They announced his tournament, and it seems to be like a bunch of older names as well. So what do you make of like the names chosen? What do you make of like Edge and Jericho and all of those rumors?
Well, see, the Jericho thing is interesting because there's so many signs that say he's coming over to WWE.
Right.
But Disco made his annual good point where he said that Jericho's infamous even behind the scenes for working people.
Yeah.
That that a lot of people in AEW didn't know Jericho was joining AEW until he turned up, and they were like, "Holy shit, we've got him." So Disco made the point of saying there's so much evidence that says Jericho's leaving AEW that he likely isn't.
Mm-hmm.
And
like it's
that
manufactured, sort of.
Yeah, and that wouldn't shock me at all. And I also heard that Edge and Christian have re-signed significant deals with AEW.
Yeah.
So
And they'll be there for a while. And there's a lot of talk about PWG. I noticed like Excalibur bringing it up and the Bucks talking about, yeah, PWG. And I'm wondering if Tony Khan's old plans of putting FTR and Edge and Christian in charge of like a PWG or like a training facility, that could come to fruition maybe in the next little while. But who knows if like fucking Dynamite will even be on TV in the next couple of years.
yeah, well, based on all these reports, from what I've read, that if and when this WBD sale happens, the majority of their contracts are null and void by law. So AEW could stick around on Paramount or well, not Netflix because of WWE.
Mhm.
So AEW could stick around, but I would be shocked that if they're like, yeah, we'll keep paying you $500 million for this shit that has the smallest audience in history.
Yeah, it's pretty crazy. What do you make of everybody melting down over like the ratings? Everybody's like, SmackDown did its lowest rating. It was on against the World Series and Halloween. And like obviously WWE fans are taking their kids trick-or-treating and shit. I mean, that's not the number one thing, but it's like, yeah, everybody anticipated that it would be a low number. The next night Collision posts its worst ratings of all time. But
Exactly.
it just seems like a bunch of AEW fans are screaming and crying on like what behalf of WWE. WWE fans don't give a fuck. Gives a shit. Worry about AEW right now, dude.
Yeah, but at the same time, I think that SmackDown has become incredibly skippable.
Yeah.
And this Cody Rhodes stuff, like I would literally open the next SmackDown this week and open a match. Drew beats Cody for the belt. Like
Oh,
that's
that
how I
would
would
be
open the
amazing.
show. And then there's your storyline for the rest of the year is Cody chasing the belt, and then allegedly one of the rumors I've heard planned for Mania is Drew versus Brock Lesnar too.
Damn, that would be cool too, because they did it during the pandemic the first time. And yeah, I mean, we know that Brock will lay down for Drew or whatever, but he probably didn't. Like, that's the thing. Will Brock lay down for Drew, do you think?
Second time around, yeah, I don't think he'd give a shit really.
Well, like in the pandemic, though, Brock's like, I just want to like someone else take this belt so I can go home. Like, everything's fucked up right now. For as far as this time, it's like maybe because Drew's in movies now and he's like, he's one of their top heels. And it's not like Brock's ever been overly selfish in wrestling either. But yeah, it's curious. Like it's the second time around. Does Brock go, no, I'm going to get that win back? It'd be interesting, but I'd be so down with that as a feud.
You know, one of the more fascinating stories I've heard is that Brock Lesnar twice shut down WrestleMania matches with Bray Wyatt, and for some reason he just had a problem with him and refused to work with him. And I would love to know what the fuck the story was there, but sadly we never will because Bray's gone and Brock doesn't speak.
Yeah, maybe it was just like he didn't want to do. I don't want to fight demons and shit, Like I don't want to fight a demon guy who chokes me out with his finger gloves or whatever. Like I'm sure it was just something like that. He
Yeah,
didn't
but
want to wrestle Ambrose either, and then he sucked it up and did it. It was a terrible match, and then everyone put it on Brock, and then years later we're all like, "Oh, that was Mox's bad,"
Yeah, the Ryback has a pretty funny story about that. Apparently, Ambrose turned up with all this list of stuff that he wanted to do in the match, and Brock was just going, "No, no, no." He's like,
Don't
"I'll
work
just
for me, bro.
suplex you. There's your match."
Oh yeah, and
But
it's like when Brock too, he probably heard all that shit and was like, "Okay, it's gonna be worse. Like I'm just gonna suplex you around now, you dumbass. You shouldn't have said any of that to me."
yeah, but regarding that SmackDown rating, that whole show needs a total reboot. Like they need to change the logo, change the set, change everything because it just feels like the same fucking show all the time.
Yeah,
And even when I don't watch it, and you wake up and you see the YouTube clips, you just see the titles and you go, "No, I'm not wasting time on this shit." Because I thought the Raw has done some good stuff lately, but with SmackDown, it's like Cody again, Drew
Mhm.
again, the fucking Solo Sokoa gang again.
A tag team match like that tag division is kind of like blah, They ran through them like the Whites just ran through them all, have the belts, and then You just know that some of that tag division will be on the show. This last week, Frazier and Ciampa, who are typically in the tag division, they're fucking wrestling for the US title against Dragunov and all this shit. So now that's starting to bleed over. And yeah, I agree. SmackDown needs to be revamped. The average was 933K. So the fucking lowest in history for SmackDown. All-time lowest for a first run, down 19%, blah, blah, blah. And the World Series Game 6, though, had 17.5 million viewers that day. And we know that WWE fans largely watch other sports and have children and shit like that. It was also on Halloween. And yeah, I mean, if you want to knock it for anything, year over year, it was down like 40%, basically.
Yeah.
So that's telling. Like last year, there was Halloween too. You know what I mean? There was World Series and stuff as well. I don't know if they were going head to head with like such an important game or whatever, but yeah, SmackDown. It was like it's in the top 10 in Canada all the time on our Netflix. So I try and update folks where I can, and internationally. Obviously, this is just American numbers, but Husey, you brought up Raw. And we do have Raw numbers as well. You see here, like it was number 1 on Netflix. What else? It did. Let me see here. They were tied for 2 other episodes for the lowest in history. So Raw did its lowest as well. And this is Netflix, so I guess this is international. They give you all the numbers. In Canada, for me, I don't know if you're looking to check where WWE is on Netflix. Raw was number 1 even last night around like midnight. And that Squid Game Challenge Show 2 came out. So it's not doing terrible. But also, I thought when they announced the Netflix shit, there would be way more viewers by now on Netflix. Like globally, I thought Raw would be doing way better than it is. But also at the same time, the whole point of streaming is like, we just watch this shit whenever we want. Right. So it doesn't, I mean, I'm not as worried about Raw as maybe like, yeah, that's a kick in the teeth for SmackDown, but it's not to say they won't rebound back. Like I bet, in like 6 months we'll be all melting down about something else. None of this shit will matter. But yeah, I mean, on Halloween, you're not going to stay home and watch this shit. This past Raw also tied for one of the lowest. I think it was up against a game, or maybe none of that shit should matter. But what do you make about Raw doing a low number as well?
Yeah, well, it'll be interesting to see how it changes now that Punk is the champion, because for me, I thought that that whole Seth Rollins thing was just really boring. It's kind of like, funny enough, you mentioned Halloween, that them saying, hey, we're bringing out another Friday the 13th film, and it's like, but we've seen this before.
Yeah.
We've done this at least 10 times in the last
and once
50.
in space.
Yeah, the good one.
Yeah.
And it's and that's for Seth Rollins. So and then just the idea that he's in a group called The Vision, which is about the future, which immediately doesn't make sense, because why would Rollins be in a group about the vision? About the future.
Yeah, or Becky.
And then that just seemed to be moving so slowly, and they made him the champion, but he never defended it on the PLEs, and it was just like, this is completely redundant. He shouldn't have been the champion. It should have been somebody else. But it is interesting. But they're going with Punk versus Logan Paul,
Mm-hmm.
and
I like that.
That's going to be fucking great.
Yeah, I like that. That was the best swerve they could have done, was bringing out Paul and then sort of teasing that he could align with Punk, but then he just fucking gloms him with the brass knuckles. I thought that was done incredibly well, and I'm excited for that. Paul's going to give Punk one of his best matches, in years for sure. So that'll be awesome. And I mean, Punk's like got a name outside of wrestling as well, to where, I don't know if Paul's like, do you have any insight on that? Is Paul like hand picking his opponents, or he's just like, I'm down to do whatever. Here's when I'm free.
I've heard nothing about that.
But
the one thing I would say that WWE's problem is that it's kind of like, do you ever get it when they televise a festival?
Yeah.
And you go, this is kind of boring, but I'm pretty sure it'd be really fun to actually be in the crowd.
Yeah.
That's what WWE is. Like, you're going there and you're yeeting and you're doing all the Seth Rollins sing-along stuff, and you're acknowledging the tribal chief, all this shit. And you hear the crowds going crazy live, but on
Right.
TV it can be kind of boring to watch. Hello, and so that sort of shit. So like wrestling, like I'm sure that if you enjoy the matches, but overall, there's nothing about it that says I have to stay up to watch this 2 to 3 hour long event.
Right. And there was a bit of that when The Rock was there, which we can talk about in a minute. But what do you make of them, like, seemingly, I don't know if they're adding shows, whatever. Saturday night's main event, they've done 3, or they're doing 3 in a row, right? They did one just this month in November. They're doing another one in December for Cena's final match, which is like, whatever. They kind of, I don't know if they just made an event or if it was, I'm pretty sure it was supposed to be in December. So they just like added a 5th one. And then there's going to be another one in January. And there's a lot to consume. So what you said, when SmackDown is like, okay, we know it's just going to be like set up tag match, I don't need to go out of my way to see that. And then you're also adding Saturday night main events I got to watch and shit. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and the thing is, if you look at that card for the most recent Saturday night's main event,
Yeah.
imagine if they had just announced those matches for Survivor Series, and instead we've got a 4 to 5 week build to those matches. It would make them all so much of a bigger deal. Like it's, and I understand it's a business and all that stuff,
Yeah.
but it just like back in my day,
Not to sound dated.
yeah, like they would announce the next pay-per-view's main event the night after the previous event, so you would have a month of build-up, and by the time the pay-per-view came around, you could not wait. You're like Austin versus Dude Love. I'm staying up. I've got to see this. Austin versus Kane in an Inferno match or whatever it was. I have to see this.
Yeah.
But with WWE, it's like, so when a Survivor Series is in like 3 weeks,
Yeah.
and there's nothing announced for it at all.
No,
But
there's like the Wyatt 6 versus Jacob Fatu's bloodline or whatever got leaked or has been announced as one of the War Games matches.
which, to be honest, I don't hate that at all because
Me neither. Me neither, to be honest. Like, maybe it'll heat them up a bit. Some shit that people don't really care about right now, maybe it'll heat it up. Like, I don't need Punk. Punk can do a one-on-one match. It'll be awesome, you know?
Yeah, but it's like, I think it was, I don't know if it was WrestleMania Survivor Series, but they did like a 6-way TLC match for all the tag titles, and it was fucking amazing. And for a 48-hour period, everybody was like, this tag team scene is incredible here. But then, of course, WWE did nothing with it for months. So them doing that type of match really could elevate both. It could give people a chance to see what the MFTs can actually do. I would much prefer that than another Roman and Punk and all those guys again.
Yeah. So they announced Saturday night main event in Montreal. That's pretty cool. But we're on the topic of like ratings and drawing and business. We're gonna circle back because Nick Khan and TKO just had like a business meeting. I pulled a couple quotes just before we jumped on the air. But NXT Live, they have a show coming up here on November 15th in 10 days. They're set up for just shy of 1,000 tickets, and they've sold almost all of them. So NXT doing well in that regard. I like to bring just whatever attendance is to the show. You know what I'm saying, Husey? It's more interesting to me than the fucking TV ratings, because at the end of the day, a bunch of people who want to clown on other people for TV ratings will also argue to you that streaming's what matters. Ultimately, what matters, it's a live touring wrestling show. So what are their live attendances doing? You know, that's the way I look at it. But everybody's saying, because recently, and I want your thoughts on this, SmackDown had a couple of rough attendances, selling like 4,000 and 6,000 tickets, filling like half of these buildings. And then, but right away, like they go to MSG and they're going to sell out like 16, 17,000 seats. So I just think like, obviously different markets, you're going to have different ticket sales. Do you think like the holidays have something to do with this, or it's just the cost mixed with Like, why do you think they're having some stinkers of fucking attendances lately, but then again, like they go to New York and then it's a sellout again? So does it really matter? They don't give a fuck about that. They don't do house shows anymore, you know?
I would say it's a little bit of everything, but I think what we're also seeing the down slope. I don't know if that's the right term of Cody Rhodes. I think he's been over pushed, and they should have had him. Do you remember when Drew they had like a fight on SmackDown? Drew should have beat him on SmackDown, and then the storyline could be Cody chasing the belt.
Right. That's more compelling too when Rhodes is chasing. Once he has it, it's like, all right, that's like the end of the chapter, the end of the book almost.
That's like there's something I heard from somebody. I can't remember his name. He said that apparently in creative that they're now fully aware that it's better in general to not have the belt on Rhea Ripley.
Because she can draw without having the belt.
Yeah, and because of her size, because well, A, she's so over they can't make her a heel.
Yeah.
So it doesn't look good when a baby face is fighting like Carrie Sane. You know, so so they know now that it's probably better for her to not be in the title scene, but at the same time, there's no way Rhea Ripley versus Bianca Belair is in one of their big planned matches.
So, you know, TKO, they get a lot of criticism, but they just had like a investors call or whatever. And it's, I mean, they're making money hand over fist. So TKO reported a revenue increase for WWE of 23% to 402.1 million. If you care about this shit, like I don't give a fuck. I mean, it affects me none. If your people are like, well, I own shares in TKO, okay, then that's obviously a valid reason. But the company attributed the increase to higher ticket sales as well as an increase in site fees for the first ever 2-night SummerSlam and WrestlePalooza. So just, I mean, they're making money. And I mean, does any of this shit affect you at all as a fan, or are you just like, I could care less?
No, I mean, I think it's good to see, but at the same time, like I think anybody who pays those full price tickets for any WWE show is either a complete nerd who has nothing else going on in their life, or they're really rich, which in that case, yeah, super chat a couple of red boys to this show.
I'll go to the next one. Yeah, dude. Yeah, guys, you can hit like, subscribe. I know I gave like no plugs or intro, really. We just jumped into shit. So you can super chat in, become a member for only 99 cents. I do weekly bonus shows. You get access to those. And subscribe to Hughesy's channel as well, Hughesy Entertainment. So Nick Khan said that they remain bullish, they being WWE, on ticket pricing, saying increases were appropriate for the marketplace and that the scarcity in U.S. shows with house show reduction and international expansion has been a good thing for overall gains. So, yeah, I don't think we're getting house shows back the way they used to exist anytime soon for those of you in like fucking rural America or whatever, right? Small town, wherever. And yeah, international expansion, obviously that's going to be key, but the $325 million per year WWE is receiving from ESPN for domestic PLE rights was also confirmed during the call. Yeah, so they're getting $325 million a year just from ESPN. That's crazy.
In January, Raw is being recorded live from the SSC Arena here in Belfast, and I'm not going because tickets are like 400 something. And it's like, get fucked. I'm going to Las Vegas next year, not for WrestleMania.
For
I'm hopefully, yeah, I'm going to see Metallica and Oasis next year. Nice. I'm spending money on stuff like that. I'm not spending it on fucking. I don't even know who the fuck's on Raw. Pentagon versus fucking Headbanger Mosh or whatever.
Headbanger Mosh. Oh my god. Yeah, Husey, they were just in like your neck of the woods, and you didn't go to any of these SmackDowns or anything, did you?
No, and at the time I regretted. I was like, I can't believe I didn't go to SmackDown. I can't. It was only like an hour and a half down the road, and then once I watched the show, I was like, thank God I didn't go to SmackDown. It's always the same. Like, tonight we're going to put you in a tag team match. It's like, fuck off. And by the way, Nick this is well, I'll tell you off, Mike.
Okay, fair enough. Fair enough. So we talked a little bit about like Cody Rhodes and whatnot. So Rhodes teases The Rock. So at one point earlier this year, it seemed as though The Rock could show up at any minute. So almost every show was can't miss, and you didn't want to miss it. And perhaps the ratings reflected that, and the attendances a little bit. I don't know. People are too doom and gloom on the ratings and attendances, but either way, Rhodes is like, The Rock came back to a very tumultuous WWE year or so ago and decided, no, I'm not going to deal with. Instead, I'm going to create a new character, even though I'm already one of the greatest characters ever, that being the final boss. And we've just scratched the surface on the final boss. There's something incredibly special there. Do you think The Rock ever comes back, with Mania being in Saudi in 27? Do you think they put all the monies down and say, we want The Rock here?
Well, if you look at how The Rock looks there,
yeah,
compared to how The Rock looks at the minute with the weight loss, at his age, it would be extremely unhealthy to put on, 30 pounds of solid muscle to wrestle in trunks with the shirt off. I genuinely don't see The Rock ever coming back. And as much as I love them, I think it's better for him and WWE overall to not come back, because there's nothing he can do that is good enough for the fan base. Like, they'll be like, oh, why didn't he come back and take a bump off the top of the Hell in a Cell? why didn't he do the blade job into the barbed wire rope and stuff? It's like because he's a fucking actor, and if he gets injured, it'll fuck up his entire career. And that's one of the problems with his, like, if you noticed when he came back, was it this year The Rock came back?
I think last year as well. Like I think it was last year, but it bled into this year a little bit.
Well, when you seen the Rock this year, like, he has never walked slower. He barely moved. He didn't take a bump. He didn't do anything physical, because, and this is not insider information, The Rock himself has said that there was some type of health/heart issue that he went to see a doctor about.
Yeah.
And so why would he then go, okay, I've got a heart issue, I better go put on 30 pounds of solid muscle while also training incredible cardio to wrestle in a massively heated country? I just don't see it. And Cody, I'm so fucking sick of Cody Rhodes doing interviews. He just fucking talks and talks. It's like, shut the fuck up, you crying cunt. That's all you fucking do.
So, speaking of Rhodes crying like a cunt, he states that his next contract with WWE will probably be his last. And he says, the next contract I sign probably be my last and finish my days with WWE. It's the house that built me, and it's the house that brought me back and put me in this wonderful, wonderful position. He's obviously going to work in the office for like the rest of his life. But what do you make of that? I mean, me and you have talked about this and beat everyone over the head with this ad nauseum, right? Like, this isn't just Cena's retirement tour. It's a lot of, I'm not saying Rhodes is hanging it up next year, but like Orton might not be around that much longer. I called Naomi. Fucking AJ Styles said he isn't going to be around much longer. And Rhodes saying, well, we know Drew McIntyre's deal is up in 2028. It runs into 2028. And then Roman, obviously, or maybe not obviously, but allegedly his is coming up. And even the Usos have talked about having, one little heel run as a tag team again, and then maybe, calling it quits type thing. What do you make of like this group of talent in the next 5 years? A bunch of them are probably going to disappear or move into the office.
Rhea Ripley's spoken about it too, because she's spoken about starting a family. But that's one of the things about now is that wrestlers are making multiple millions per year. So as long as you're smart with your money, you can retire stinking rich and then just do some shitty podcast with Michelle McCool or whatever. That's the thing. Like the whole industry has changed so much, in that leaving or retiring from the WWE is not like we're done or our fucking career is ruined. They'll be like, you know what? We'll do the convention route. We'll do the podcast stuff. We'll do the YouTube show. We'll do paid appearances, meet and greets, all this stuff. We can still make really good money without being active, so we can cover our interest taxes. And then with Cody Rhodes, like he's got to be currently on like $5 million a year, guaranteed, and fuck knows how much he's making in merch points and stuff. So I think a lot of these people that are talking about retirement are saying it because they actually are like, I can't wait to spend this money.
Well, speaking of spending money, who's your money on to win this tournament? We don't even know everyone who's in it, but Raw, SmackDown, people in WWE, outside of WWE, people speculating it's going to be Edge and whatnot. I know we touched on it, but like, who would you like to see, I guess, as Cena's final opponent? A lot of people see these four and go, none of them.
Yeah, I'm going to go ahead and give you a spoiler and let you know that Damian Priest is doing the job.
Okay. And that's
Just
a
saying.
shoot or what?
Yep.
Okay.
Allegedly, there's heat there. Allegedly. But yeah, I don't think it's going to be anyone who's being marketed. It's clearly going to be Gunther or Drew McIntyre. And I think that would be a good time to turn Drew face. Have Drew beat Cena, then have, and then maybe, I don't know, Brock attacks Cena again, and then Drew gets into it with Brock Lesnar, and that's how Drew turns face, whatever. But my personal choice, if I had the opportunity to pick, would be Chris Jericho.
Me too.
It's not going to like do anything to help the future of the industry, but that would be such a huge moment and a huge wave, because it was pointed out on Keeping 100 that Jericho was John Cena's first ever WWE pay-per-view opponent. So
I didn't know that.
Yeah, at a Vengeance 2002 or something. I'm a mark. And
we all are, dude.
Fuck yeah. I probably got
just
that
made the
wrong.
list.
Yeah, he's talking out of your ass. Someone will come and chat. Actually, it was Rey Mysterio.
Did I ever tell you my Chris Jericho meeting story?
No. I think you told me when you met Ospreay, but no, not when you met Jericho.
Yeah, this isn't as fascinating as the Ospreay one, but so it was. There's a place in Belfast called Nando's. It's like a chicken restaurant, and Fozzy was in town doing a show, and I was walking past to get my bus home, and I was just like looking at the fuck, that guy looks like Chris Jericho, and it actually was him, and he sort of seen me staring at him, and he goes, "What?" So I went over and
"What to you?"
Yeah, because he see me sort of eyeballing him, and he's like, "What?" Because he was in his rock and roll tough guy mode. And so I went over and I spoke to him, and I get a photograph, and we had a short, like 90-second conversation about Aerosmith. So it was quite excellent.
You did you let me ask you and be honest, did you pull the hey, I produce a Conan show, you guys are friends?
I don't actually think it was working for Conan at the time. That was still Kevin Smith.
Okay. Oh, just Kevin Smith, even a bigger name drop there. Hey,
yeah.
Guys, let me check in with chat really quick. Kevin Pierpont, speaking of Kevin's, has been a member for 6 goddamn months. Thank you. And then at ST, I don't know why YouTube changed it like this, where it's the handles and not your guys' names. It's been driving me nuts for the last week. ST CH2MS has been a member for 8 months. Shout you guys out. Thank you so much. We will acknowledge you guys. Become a member for 99 cents. You get access to weekly bonus shows. And what else? Yeah, and then you can super chat in. Make sure you hit like, make sure you hit subscribe, retweet, whatever.
Acknowledge me.
Dude, I want to make fun of AEW a little bit with you, Husey. Are you down to watch some cringe Tony Khan videos?
Oh my god! You know, somebody sent in an email the other day about Starcade 2000 and how it was just this fucking disaster, and how the end of WCW is modern day AEW. Like it really is like you're watching something slowly die, and it's actually kind of sad.
It is, dude. It is, dude. So not to kick a dead horse, but this is a segment within a segment called The Best Guys Tony Khan. So, dude, I have some cringe Tony Khan videos. This one is courtesy of Jeff Lane, who is a friend of yours, friend of ours, I suppose, friend of the show. And he works with Vince Russo. Is there still a beef going on between K100 and the brand?
Well, I think basically, because when Disco used to work for the brand, shock horror, Disco was a total dick to Jeff Lane. And he was really disrespectful, and he didn't take into consideration the work that Jeff and producers in general have to do for podcasts. And Disco will always pass the blame. So if his audio is terrible, it's because you didn't set it up, and not because he's using a gamer headset on a shitty, cheap laptop. Somebody pointed out the other day that Disco Inferno has a non-HD webcam in 2025. Like how the that is kind of crazy. Like how the fuck do you do that?
It just looks like he's doing it on his phone every time that there is visual or whatever. But Vince Russo's blown up for quickly before we get into this clip as well, because we are going to just roast. I have multiple Tony McCon videos here, but what do you make of Russo swerving? Bro, I swerved the marks, bro. What do you make of him doing, like, working for JCW? And then him being like, I swerved everybody. They did a house, but it's like, who cares, you know?
But the thing is, I actually think it's kind of great because I'll be honest with you, I've never heard so many people talk about JCW.
Right.
And even the trolls are in the JCW social pages, you know, trolling them. And it's like, okay, but their numbers are bigger than they've ever been.
Yeah, that's true. That is true.
So the Vince Russo and JCW what's it called again? Yeah, JCW.
JCW, yeah.
It's started off perfectly. Like they made this big new signing to the biggest audience they've ever had. And speaking of which,
that's the thing. They did like 1,800 people. Speaking of which,
AEW, it's just been confirmed the show tonight is officially their lowest Dynamite audience ever, 1,346.
And that's for a non-residency show, right? I'm assuming, because they did that residency where the houses were only like 900 people because that's all the building could hold.
Yeah, that is unbelievable. Yeah, they're literally doing it in half of the venue.
That's all I'm saying. So speaking of half the venue, here's Tony Khan. We make a joke here at PWT, and friend of the show 452 actually made a music video. We call Tony Khan Triple Cup Tone over here, and I don't know, Jeff Lane just picked out this hilarious video where Tony Khan's like opening a water bottle but then drinking out of a cup, and he's just a silly goose
cup
here.
Guy brings him another cup,
so we got 2 cups and a bottle.
Yeah,
welcome back.
You did do it.
He's got 3 drinks, right? And Tony loves having multiple drinks, as we chronicle here at PWT.
I'm not going to say it, but from personal experience, back when I used to party a lot, I was consistently thirsty.
There
second cup.
tonight, having defeated Tony Storm one-on-one. This match was so anticipated. You came out on the other side. How do you
So he goes to pour the water in the cup, but then he starts sipping out the cup.
See, Tony Khan has been coached into being, and this is going to come across as really dude bro-ish, but he's been coached into being masculine, where somebody has told him, you know, if you swear a lot, that's going to make you seem really tough. And for some reason, he seems to think that this drinking stuff makes him like some type of tough, cool guy. Like,
It's like
it
he'd
is
smoke a cigarette if he wasn't scared of the cancer type thing.
exactly. Scott Hall had less of a drinking problem than Tony Khan does.
Yeah, Tony Khan has a drinking problem, like in the way in that movie Airplane. He's like, I got a drinking problem. He spills it on his chest.
No, not yet.
I don't really feel a sense.
What? So he opens the bottle.
It drinks out of the cup.
It drinks out of the cup.
Exactly.
Who does that?
Okay, go ahead. Go ahead.
Because normally you open a bottle, you immediately drink out of it.
You're opening the bottle because the cup's empty. You're opening the bottle because the cup's empty. He's opening the bottle, but he's still got water in the cup.
One-on-one. This
cup.
Yeah, it's pretty funny, man. So moving along, we have some more Tony Khan cringe. And I don't know, man. The press conferences, he hasn't been saying as much goofy stuff, but if you can snipe out little thises and that's, you know, like that.
Why is
funny,
he
man,
wearing
because,
these
man,
fucking glasses again? He got what do you call it? LASIK surgery? Is that the term?
Did he really get LASIK surgery? I have no clue.
Yeah, he got the surgery years ago, so now he's wearing like fake glasses, and he is just, you know, like I'm not trying to be a dick because I just got a relationship with a woman that had a kid on the spectrum, shall we say?
Liar!
But you calling me gay, bro?
Yeah, dude, bro.
Yeah.
Totally.
Hey, dude, bro, she had big fucking tits, dude. But with this Tony Khan, it's like they're encouraging and enabling bad behavior, and it's like this is not good.
Yeah,
like look at this fucking guy. Can you press
so
play on this?
here's two-tone right here, tuxedo tone, and here's him, I guess, like Gangnam styling down the ramp.
He's working hard, doing a wonderful job taking care of our ring.
I wish he was Owen Harden style down the
And
ramp.
there is Tony Khan.
Oh my god, Opa Gangnam style.
Hard, doing a wonderful job taking care of our ring.
Tony Khan style. Oh,
you know, I can't remember who told me, but they said that it's basically he is a laughing stock behind the scenes.
Oh no, gee, you fucking think?
Yeah, like that's my big insight. Like the wrestlers can literally tell him, I can't make the thing you've booked me into. I have a wedding to go to. And he'll be like, yeah, sure, no problem. Have a great time. Can I come too?
Some people would say that that's inhumane, though, to be like, well, no, you can't. No, you can't go to the fucking wedding. You know, some people would say that would be shitty of him to do. What would you say to them?
I would say he would be in his rights to do it. If like when you're like that's one of the things with Vince McMahon. Like he may have been a fucking a deviant who shit on women's head during sex and stuff, but he was also a brilliant boss. Where it's like we're gonna make sure we're all making money together, but you have to be here on this day, or else you're fucking gone. Whereas Tony Khan will literally delay his own events so that people can go see fucking Wicked 2.
Here, I got some super chats, and then let's get into some more Tony Khan cringe. Chris McCarty 7128 for 5. Thank you so much. Says, George, will you be the Bubba to my Hulk brother, dude? So George Capture for 5 says, so TK posted 2 today, one about an hour ago and another about 20 minutes ago with Shivani. Excellent. Yeah, we have them in the bookmarks here. You know what they say.
The best guys, Tony Khan.
And thank you for the updates. I have never ending Tony Khan cringe. I also have a new segment tonight. I don't even have a drop for it or a name for it really, but yeah, it's going to be fun. Thank you so much for that update. Fat Factor Creation for 5 says, you hear about the schizo mail to Nielsen yelling AEW's ratings are false with multiple legal added address CC'd for someone, Brandon Thurston? For some reason, sorry. You hear about the schizo mail to Nielsen? No. So somebody sent in like crazy mail to Nielsen being like, oh, AEW's ratings, why don't you fucking show the true ratings and shit, like that sort of thing. I don't know. Someone would have to tag me on X or send me an email or something, and I'll take a look at that. But I don't think it has anything to do with Brandon Thurston, if that's what you're saying.
I hate him.
Oh, Brandon Thurston. Why do you hate me, Husey? Why do you hate me so much?
It's his voice where it's
I
just
know.
like, it's just that sort of thing. Do you ever get when you go see a band and they do like a 3-hour long show? Hello, The Cure. And you look at the set list and you go, if this was 90 minutes, this would have been a classic. But you just filled it full of shit. That's what a Brandon Thurston sentence is. It's always 17 words too many. The Stuttering John sequel.
Oh, the Duke. How do you compare me? Juan Tenta for 5 says, I don't know why he wasn't a Human Centipede fan and why he didn't just start a Human Centipede fed and pay these women to play Human Centipede in his office.
Vince?
Yeah, Vince. Exactly. Yeah.
You what?
I mean,
I'm sure there'll be more stories soon.
Yeah, I bet we haven't heard the last of it. JBL saying Vince is going to release like a tell-all. What do you make of that shit? Pun intended. Like, what are we going to hear in that book?
Well, hopefully it's not a scratch and sniff. Vince McMahon could probably tell you stories that would make your ball hair change color. Like, so one day me and the Ultimate Warrior are doing coke at the Playboy Mansion and the Macho Man comes in and he's just had a physical fight with Roddy Piper and you're like, what?
Yeah.
Vince McMahon must have stories and dirt on people. I can't wait. I will always love Vince, even if he's found guilty. I'll be like, yes, but he's Vince McMahon.
So you'll always love Vince as far as like what, him as an on-screen character, or like he did a lot of crazy shit for business that like he trailblazed and whatnot. Like he. So like, what about it with him? Like, obviously, I'm not saying you endorse him shitting on people's heads or whatever, but it's like I've been saying it too. He's not found guilty of anything yet, and I'm not saying like whatever the fuck happened. I don't know, whatever. I feel bad for victims, obviously. Like I shouldn't even have to explain that, but it's like you have to be able to applaud him for what he did creatively, what he did fucking business wise and things like that, But if he does this tell-all book, you think he's gonna like go down swinging, take everyone down with him type shit, or just put everyone over?
But Vince has been making way too many public appearances over this last year. Like he was on the fucking baseline at the Super Bowl. Yeah. Like he's not going to jail.
I don't think so either, dude. And like Trump will just pardon his ass or something, Yeah.
But the thing is, Vince is so rich that he can delay this court trial until he actually passes. So Vince, like she at some point she will have to drop the charges because she won't be able to afford the legal fees unless some four-eyed geek is fucking financing it.
Yeah. Well, speaking of four-eyed geeks, I guess here's two of them right here. So Tony Khan really got LASIK and is just fucking around with his eye surgery here, like, and he's just wearing fake glasses. That's really
So when AEW started, Keep Them 100 wasn't doing so great on YouTube, so I started upping my thumbnail game. And I started making fun of people instead of, everyone's got to look tough and cool.
Yeah.
So I started making fun of Tony Khan's face and putting that on funny images. And he then called Conan. I was like, I don't even wear these glasses anymore. I've got LASIK, so People making fun of me.
Hold on. So he called Conan on the phone like fucking Dave Meltzer and was like, oh, you know what, Conan? I don't really actually even wear glasses anymore. It's actually really great. Both my eyes, great.
Yeah, and that's the thing. Like, and he would talk down to Conan, and Conan doesn't even like being fucking agreed with. Like, what are you agreeing with me for, bro? You think you're tough? It's like, I'm not trying to fight you, Conan. So, like Conan actually looks like he's called Conan. That's what makes it so funny. And so Tony Khan would start giving him shit, but Conan was trying to get help with the AEW shows, and Tony Khan kept giving him shitty people to work with. So that's why Conan was basically like, fuck him.
Damn. Well, there you go. You guys heard it here. So here is, before I get you out of here, Husey, here's a quick 4-minute, 5-minute video with Tony Khan and Tony Schiavone, Tony and Tony Schiavone. Okay, I'll stop. And he's got a cup here. Perhaps there's a couple more hidden underneath, or he'll add some. Let's take a look at this video. And I haven't seen this before, so let's just see.
It's great to see you again. I'm here.
What is this fucking Mr. Rogers? It's great to see you again. Welcome to the neighborhood.
Yeah, and the thing is, why is he holding a cup? Is that in case he vomits from anxiety?
I'm totally a dude, bro. I don't even need these glasses.
Yeah.
Backstage
Maybe people will
Wednesday
think I'm
night
drinking whiskey.
Dynamite with my great friend, Mr. Tony Schiavone.
My great friend.
What an exciting show it's going to be. We had a very exciting conclusion to last week's Fright Night Dynamite, Tony. And we're about to get...
Tony, we have the same name. Isn't it great?
Yeah. Like, how about you tell him what the fucking finish was, you dumb fuck?
Yeah, and Tony Schiavone looks like a really hard Pokemon trainer you battle like later in the game.
Yeah, and there's no way Tony isn't doing the cunt symbol with his hand by accident.
That's a purposeful sneaking it in there. Subliminal.
From now on TBS, the Superstation, and on HBO Max with Wednesday Night Dynamite. It's our final Dynamite before next week's Blood and Guts show. Earlier, I made an announcement that was, frankly, bittersweet announcement about the Blood and Guts match and having to make a change to the lineup. And I had a more positive, exciting announcement to talk about. And you're going to be going out there on Dynamite to talk about this.
Like, who is this for, Husey? Who is this for? The people already tuning into this fucking show, right?
He's announcing that there's going to be an announcement. Yeah, we're actually going to change the name of the women's match to the Cunt Blood and Guts.
Minutes from now on TBS and HBO Max. And as you know, Tony, it means so much to me to be able to do wrestling here on the Superstation TBS with you. I'm so proud of it because I grew up watching wrestling on TBS and I grew up watching you on this channel.
Nobody cares.
And it's really...
It's like, who does this appeal to? Bro, you got, like, I said he should hire an editor and still do these videos, but get some kid who knows, like, Mr. Beast style editing and at least try and like meme it and make it cool to younger people or do something like, who is this for? I don't get it.
Yeah, they
like
couldn't even, but then it even goes back to the video game. Like, look at the technology we have these days of like even Red Dead Redemption 2, which isn't new, but it's like to this day, it still blows your mind to even think that this game exists, the level of work that goes into it. All this open world stuff in 3D and hologram and Tony Khan's great ideas. Let's make an N64 game and let's put hundreds of millions into it. Well, 115 million into it. Even though that system went out of date because so few people like the N64, he's like, but I want one, and that's what matters, right, Dad? He's like, oh God, this guy's a cunt.
You matter forever.
Yeah.
Cool
Why
being able to
didn't
work
I just
here
have
with
a
you.
vank that day instead?
I
should have pulled out
have
and
to
thumb
say,
in my
one
wife's tits.
of the great traditions in wrestling, and something I'm really, something I've missed seeing on TV, Tony, is the national championship. The national championship goes back, I believe, to when Georgia Championship Wrestling appeared on TBS, the Superstation. It goes back to before I was even born. And if I'm correct, Tony, the national title came to work with you when Mid-Atlantic Championship Wrestling and Georgia Championship Wrestling merged?
Yeah, in 1985, we merged. Mid-Atlantic Championship Wrestling and Georgia Championship Wrestling merged. And there was a U.S.
Tony's like, I remember that.
Championship. And there was
This is like a Saturday Night Live sketch from the 80s.
Dude. It's why I roast it every fucking show. It's like, it's a parody of wrestling, I swear.
Championship.
It's like that Southpaw regional wrestling that WWE was doing.
And these two championships together were put together one match at the Omni back in 1986, and it became the U.S. Championship. So
it's probably outdrew AEW in 2025.
In almost 40 years, Tony.
Wow, 39 years. Over 39 years since there was a national champion here on TBS. I think it's a great tradition. Also,
no, it's not over 39 years, you dumb fuck. He just told you it was almost 40 years. He just told you the answer, and you got it wrong immediately.
Oh, man, it's so good. Tone.
Looking to book the top AEW stars. And there's wrestlers all over AEW chasing gold. And it's a tradition that goes back and something I have always wanted to have here in AEW, and something for years that I've wanted to bring back here to TBS. And since we have the chance to do these kinds of things, to create these kinds of memories, to create these kinds of lasting legacies in pro wrestling, I've wanted to bring the national title back for a long time, and we're going to be bringing the national title back.
What, another belt? No way.
Mr. Khan, do you think with this new belt you get tied around your neck and hang it from the door hole?
Dude, there can't be another title if he or is he just about to say the international title? Let's hope. Let's continue.
You're going to be talking more about it on TBS minutes from now, but I can tell you there's going to be at AEW Full Gear a casino gauntlet match.
Oh, of course.
To determine
another one of these matches where we're led to believe that the stipulation is we called 15 guys to sit in the back, but if the first two guys pin each other, then all these other guys can go home. They're just not in the match. Oh my God. So he's going to do that match for a new title, I'm assuming. Shivani's in the ring he's about to announce it literally as we're here on the air. So I'll fill you guys in, but Jesus, man, what do you make of adding more belts?
They'll probably give that to Jericho.
Upon his return, straight up, man.
Who will go out on TBS, who will be...
There's a lot of wackos who'd fucking like that.
The first national champion
Tony Khan's
on the
such a mark
Superstation.
that Jericho will be like, yeah, I want to stay to be the Georgia champion with the $8 million per year contract. I'd love to represent that championship. And Tony Khan would be like, sure, we're great friends. Can I have a photograph? It's like, fuck off, cunt.
And here's the thing, dude. He comes on this thing, and you said it before, announcing an announcement again. He comes on here to say, we're going to announce something special about the national championship. And then he gives all the history of it. Like, why didn't they put a package together and do this on the fucking show like WWE did for AAA or whatever? What's going on, man?
Yeah, AEW should have an event called Announcement Mania. Where it's
Tony can rattle off.
It's a 2-day event once a year where Tony Khan for 4 hours just announces over and over again tournaments and battle royals and new belts and all this shit. Like, it is this clip should not be this long, and the fact that it went this long and nobody checked the lighting and said, hey, do you want to move over here so it doesn't look gray?
I know, dude. That's the biggest thing. Like, I roast that endlessly, as well as the production. Sometimes it'll be his full body, his shoes will be in it, and you're like, what's going on? And then you can see the scuff marks on the gym floor and shit, and you're like, why? Who's filming this that didn't get this more in frame or whatever? There's a bit more of this clip usually. Let's watch this last little chunk.
It's going to be a very prestigious opportunity to be the national champion.
So it's a new title, guys. That's what it literally is, a national champion after they already had an international champion, which was and then a continental champion, and it was fused to the unified champion. And like, why does any of this shit matter anymore?
I've spoken to other promoters. I know my friends at New Japan Strong are anxious to bring an AEW national champion to defend the title in New Japan. I know in Ring of Honor, we would love to see the AEW national champion make appearances. And of course, here on Dynamite, on Collision, a national champion could be a great thing. And it's going to be great bringing the national title back to the Superstation after all these years. And you will be out there on Dynamite minutes from now on TBS, where it all began, and you'll be out there.
Hey, we had an international title. Wasn't it awesome? We got rid of it. Let me introduce a national title and then talk about how guys from Japan are going to come fight for it. Are you fucking kidding me? Like, oh my God.
Stupid idiot.
It's just void of like any. It's like when he made the fucking All Atlantic title, and then there was Japanese guys fighting for it, and you're like, do you not like Tony? What's going on there?
This clip alone really clarifies exactly what's wrong with AEW. Is that it's Tony Khan, the guy making all the decisions, while the people around him are just staying silent because they want to keep getting paid. Like, this is a terrible idea. And considering that WWE is just going through a rough patch right now, this is the perfect time for him to sort of capitalize on this stuff. But instead, he's like, remember wrestling from the 70s? No. Well, good, because we're going to bring it back. And it's like, oh, God, this guy's a silly goose. I was going to say the word.
Talking about who some of the
permitted
participants
here,
in this Casino Gauntlet match are going to be.
Look forward, because if you think about the national championship, the great wrestlers who held the national championship. Wahoo McDaniel was the last one to hold the national championship. Tommy Rich held the national. That's a lot of tradition right there, Tony.
It's a great tradition. There have been some great national champions. You mentioned some of the great ones. And again, when you have a title that's got this kind of prestige, this kind of lineage, great champions like those, great champions like Dusty Rhodes. You had Jack Briscoe,
whose son hates
like
you.
Said, Paul Orndorff.
You mean the guy who's one of his kids fucking hates your guts, dude? Jesus, man.
Tommy Rich, Ted DiBiase, so many great wrestlers to hold the national title. And I can't think of a better way.
All guys who refuse to work here.
Okay.
Maybe I can get their widows to fucking come on the show, but one day, but.
Okay, this is all great, Tony. Now let's show footage of those wrestlers winning that belt. Oh, wait, you can't because you don't own the footage.
To bring it back to pro wrestling.
Okay, this clip's
right here on
like
TBS, the Superstation, and with you, Tony Schiavone, talk minutes from right now.
Minutes from
it
right
all
now.
Kicks off 8 p.m. Eastern.
Stop watching this. Go watch our show, man. What a spectacular fucking clip. That rules. We have more of that, but Husey, I know that you got to get out of here, dude. Plug anything that you got going on, and then I will let you free off into the wild. My good friend, thank you for being here.
Yes, well, I can officially announce that if you come to my YouTube channel, Huge Entertainment, the host of this show, the great Phil Marks, will be joining me. I'll be doing a live stream interview with Sean Oliver.
Let's go.
And we will also be joined by the great Shuli Igor from the Howard Stern Show.
Wow. That's
so
awesome.
that's going to be a good laugh to do that. I haven't spoke to Sean in years, and I always get along well with Shuli. So that's I'm going to have to email them on Sunday to try and lock down a date and time. But for anyone who can see in the background there, I've got my Christmas lights are up. I haven't turned them on yet. I'm going to be live streaming a lot, so there's going to be a lot of guests coming on from all around the world of pro wrestling and comedy and the precious Doubleverse. And I'm going to be streaming a lot because I'm going to Hackamania 3 in Las Vegas next April.
Hell yes.
And I'm in full-scale grift mode. It's expensive and times are tough, so you pieces of shit can pay for my vacation. Thank you very much for all the red boys.
I will be there, ladies and gentlemen, at the Husey on X, at Husey Entertainment on YouTube. A round of applause, and Husey, I'll catch you over there. I'll give you a DM too. Thanks for coming on the show, brother.
See you soon.
Amazing. Guys, Welcome to another eclectic edition of PWT live show. That was the intro to the show. Amazing. We're going nuts here tonight. That was great stuff. I am Phil Marks, and my guy Husey just popped in last second, and he had about an hour. So I just wanted to get his thoughts on the current state of WWE, and then, of course, I wanted to EFAP some Tony Khan. I knew I had a bunch in there, and I wanted to watch some with him. So we're going to circle back. We have more Tony Khan in a bit, which we're going to come into and make fun of in a minute here. I'm going to check in with chat. Orange Cassidy's showing up on screen here. And what else do we got going on tonight? Meltzer said what is going to watch Dynamite tonight, I think, for the first time and probably forever. Yeah, so that's cool. So shout out Meltzer said what, the GOAT. I'm on the air. Okay, so guys, listen. Thank you so much for being here and all your contributions. Speaking of which, Chris McCarty, 7128. Make sure you guys are hitting like and whatnot. Thank you. Sorry, Husey just did a quick run-in. That was spectacular. Shout him out, a little insight, some jokes, some hot takes. And that was awesome to have him making fun of Tony Khan with me. I'm debuting a new segment tonight, and he will for surely be joining me for some of those in the future as well. But for two, Mercedes is the Dina Ambrosa of the Four Horsewomen. Yeah, I mean, except for here's the thing. The well, wait, though. That's okay. That's so you mean like of the Shield, if you're to compare four horsewomen to the Shield. Fat Factor Creation for Two says TK talks like Opie, the Opsta, half expecting, hey doggy. My radio show. It's all great. Trust me, it's great. Sorry, that's my terrible Opie impression. Opie Hughes. That's who I assume you're talking about. Okay, guys, so that was amazing. Round of applause to the PWT universe. We have nearly we have 250 watching on X and YouTube across both channels. Guys, like, subscribe, retweet, all that good shit. We have tons more news, and I want to go back to WWE news and just talk about a couple of thises and that's. Then we're going to come back to AEW news, talk about thises and that's. We have another Tony Khan video to EFAP, a longer one. So, round of applause. And I told you guys, tonight's show was can't miss. It's going to be great. I told you how great the show is. That's crazy, that story about like Tony Khan's glasses and how he called Conan and got mad. That's crazy. I mean, I didn't even know that was a thing. So, ladies and gentlemen, let's go back into some WWE. And we're not going to retread any shit. Your boy Phil's got a lot to get to tonight. So, WWE filed to trademark the ring name Skylar Ray. Kind of a generic name, but okay, they trademarked it. WWE Raw's opening segment. This is courtesy of Tryon Bryan of the Wrestling Observer here. Where's my Brian? It reportedly went 10 minutes longer than planned and left the company scrambling with the rest of the show. And then Hurricane responded to it. He quote tweeted, he's like, oh my God, we were so scrambled. It was unreal. Yelling, screaming, monkeys swinging off the chandeliers. The humanity. And that's pretty funny. And people just reported on Tryon Bryan, yeah, just his faux outrage bullshit. It went 10 minutes over. Like they don't know Punk and Paul can go over and shit. But there is another new trademark. I think this is the Skylar Ray trademark, actually. I might have doubled up on this here. I pulled a tone. Let's see. Yeah, Skylar Ray. So there's somebody coming to like Evolve or NXT or whatever. Speaking of NXT or whatever, Mike DeRutter made his WWE debut in a dark match before last night's NXT show. DeRutter, formerly Mike DiVecchio, recently signed with WWE. So I'm not sure what's going on. Like, his name. So this is the story behind this guy. His name was Mike DeVecchio, which is his work name on the Indies or something. And then he got signed by WWE, and he's using his real name, Mike DeRudder. And that's why people are tripping out or care about this seemingly random guy. I don't know who he is. Perhaps he's on the Indies or something, and I'm not familiar with his work. But yeah, the story behind this, I guess, is like he came to WWE, and instead of using his fake name, he's using like a shoot name or something like that. Speaking of shoot names, this guy got some ink shot into his skin here. The guy who sings, and I apologize, BVD Mind, whoever sings Dominic Mysterio's theme song, he's performing the theme dressed as Dominic and getting tatted live on stage. That's pretty dope. Hopefully that guy's raking it in because of all the streams. No, that the music industry's cooked right now, man. Speaking of industries being cooked, Hollywood and PWI reports that 2 major WWE names have landed voice roles in Zootopia 2. It is unknown who it is at this time. It's a guy and a gal, but the film is scheduled to release on November 26th, so we won't have to wait too long to find out. So there you go. We'll see who's in Zootopia 2, a very popular kids animated. They're incorporating WWE voices, a lot of which are iconic, you know. Think about even like like people know his voice, a Cody Rhodes, a Punk. People recognize his voice, not the mainstream. It's not like John Cena when his car commercials come on. People are like, is that John Cena? Because he's got that, you know, because he's like household. But it's cool that this is how you become that. And a lot of these wrestlers too, voice acting's a great avenue for them afterwards to get into. Like, who doesn't want to be voicing video game characters and stuff like that? Even if acting isn't your calling. You know, getting into voice acting work, you guys understand the pacing and timing of promos and whatnot. And speaking of which, 2 of the best in the game at it, Ethan Page, All Ego Ethan Page. And I just call him the Ego, dude. Fuck All Ego. He's just Ego Ethan Page. Ego Page, dude. He doesn't even need another name. He's just Ego, right? He's so fucking good. And so is Chelsea Green. And they are the AAA mixed gender tag champs, and they cut a promo after getting creamed on together during NXT.
Disgusting behavior. We were disrespected in Monterey.
Oh, that maple whip there, buds.
And we were disrespected tonight. I have never been creamed on like this before. Wait.
Neither have I.
Neither have I. I wanted to cut the cake and eat it with a fork. This is BS.
So they're doing great work. They did. They got smashed with a cake, and then like Thea Hale joined up with Joe Hendry, and so she's like doing his gimmick, and it's like, I believe in Thea Hale, do I believe in Thea Hale? Do. From Chase U to Goth Girl to John Henry, right? So she's doing that bit now. And speaking of bits, one of our favorite bits here is Ren Sinclair. There might be a run-in. Yeah, there is, from Thursday. Boo. And Ava Rain is in this one.
Hey guys, happy Wednesday. So today we're here with
Kendall Gray,
obviously. UCC. But we have our most favorite person in the whole entire world.
Yeah, our favorite.
And we're not just like saying that. Drum roll, please.
Okay. I don't know how to do it.
Oh, favorite person ever. This is news to me.
Obviously, no one else would be, not just because of your title. Anyways, happy Wednesday. Oh, I have a question. Okay. So we all know who your dad is, but I have this really cool friend, Charles. Do you know who his dad is?
I do.
Oh my gosh, great guy. Okay, anyways, let's go ahead and do the questions. Question number 1. Why does Ren not have enough title matches? Why don't we have more? Why don't I have more?
I mean, yeah, it's in the works.
And also, do you want to join the Rank UCC?
Me?
Yeah.
I don't think legally I can join your faction and be your boss.
I mean,
You could. Go ahead and wait the next one.
next question. Will Rendell get tag team title shots?
That's also a good one.
It's in the works. In the works.
Everything's in
What
the
works? This
right?
feels like a put a pin in it type thing. Next one. This one's a really good one. What does NXT stand for? GM?
You got me there.
I knew it.
I remember when I first heard of NXT, it like pissed me off that it didn't stand for anything. I don't know why I was such a mark then. When did NXT start? I think like 2011 or something. So again, a young Phil Marks. And I was like salty. I'm like, what? It should like at least be called WWE Next or something, you know?
What does NXT
Fucking
Next
sickos.
question. That's what it stands for. Got it.
But now it rules. It's awesome that it doesn't mean shit. You know?
Will we see Rendell in New York?
Can we go to New York?
Come on.
Ava.
I mean,
New York needs us.
That's
I don't hear anything. Ava, I need New York. Concrete jungles where dreams are made of. Ava.
Damn, bro. I want some pizza.
And that, ladies and gentlemen, was WWE News Part 2. So everybody all together in chat, Ichi ni Sanda. Because it's time for more AEW news. So Will Ospreay says he's not returning to AEW in January after all. And I put a tweet out about this. I was like, dude, sickos were spreading rumors that he was going to be back in January. He just had neck surgery. You shouldn't, as a fan, even want him back in January, for fuck's sakes. And yeah, that rumor got kiboshed. Thank God, bruv. Thank God. Moving along here. So Hangman sent autographed T-shirts to the fan who had their Ice Fears Hangman sign confiscated at an AEW taping. Last month, I went to AEW and one of my signs got confiscated by security and ruined my night. Little did I know it would make the rounds online and catch the attention of the AEW World Heavyweight Champion Hangman Adam Page, who personally sent me these autographed T-shirts. This is the coolest thing ever, a gift from the World's Heavyweight Champion. I, who turned a negative into the ultimate positive. Hangman is now officially my favorite wrestler ever. Definitely some cowboy shit. So there you go. Tony Khan announces that there will be a women's blood and guts match. So we know that for sure. And that's cool. I mean, WWE seemingly moving away from there has to be a women's and a men's War Games. Or maybe not. Maybe they lean right into having it separated. Or like what is Nikki Cross going to do? She's going to be in the dudes one, right? I'm sure she's going to jump off the cage. That's what she's going to do. She's going to jump onto a bunch of Samoans and they're going to sell for her. Or hopefully they just catch her and then like throw her through a fucking table or something. But either way, Tony Khan's like, we're having both. And we know that this Dynamite is going to run long because of the advertising for it. So tonight is like the eliminator matches for who's going to be in, or like who has the advantage in these War Games matches. And then next week, I believe, is the actual blood and guts themselves. So that'll be a fun Dynamite to watch. I mean, I'm a mark for a gimmick, you know, 1 cage, 2 rings. There's a couple of them. Let's see if the women can steal the show from the men. I'll give it a good old shot. So moving along here, we've talked enough about that, though. A clip I dropped recently on the channel as well was talking all about like my thoughts on the tag division and all of that recently. So a surprising name has quietly been working behind AEW's creative team, says Ringside News. And let's see how surprising this name is here. Archibald Peck, or Robert Evans, is one of our writers. He works with the talent and doing interviews and just a very, very intelligent, super intelligent guy. This is Shivani talking. He and my son, Matt, became very good friends. They're both Star Wars nerds. I think we use him the right way because he's very smart. And he's a guy who wrestled in Chikara, I believe. So, no. What do you think about Tony Khan's strategy of freezing out talent with potential WWE plans? So we've chronicled this here at PWT, but the rumors have been running rampant, and it's more and more confirmed every day. Every few months we hear more stories that basically Tony Khan just throws a hissy fit when you're going to leave, and he freezes you, or you just aren't on TV, which is his prerogative, right? Most people would want to like job you out a bunch, or keep like what they did with Ricochet. They had Braun just destroy him, and everyone's like, well, he could come back though. Or even R-Truth ended up actually coming back, or with Karrion Kross. And I'm not saying you got to do that every time, but whatever. Tony Khan's just got his approach, and it's shitty for the boys when he freezes them and shit, especially when people preach about, how bad WWE was for keeping people under contract who wanted to be there, all the free Ali and all of those fucking hashtags. And I mean, it's an old topic, but yeah, it's come up again that, Tony Khan just likes to freeze people. We already know that though. But Mike Bennett, who was in AEW, and I thought he was still there, but I guess him and his wife's contracts expired or whatever. And he's like, no more flips is what he posted. And then he quote tweeted it and went, looking to fill these dates for November, and then a bunch of dates. Side note for promoters. I know it can be expensive to bring guys into your shows. The way I work is I'll come in for a flat fee to wrestle. Then I'll do a seminar and meet and greet before the show. You can set the price of the seminar and meet and greet and keep all the profits to try and help offset the cost of bringing me in. I just want to wrestle and help as much as possible. So that's pretty fucking cool. I'll give that a like and a retweet just to I don't know, maybe someone books him or something. But at the same time, yeah, he needs to get booked, man. And he's got children and stuff. So book Mike Bennett. I like Mike Bennett. It's kind of shitty. Is he done in AEW? I'm not sure, but it's sort of shitty how they were booked. Like they were just brought in as an afterthought on that whole devil thing they did with MJF, which ended up being an afterthought a month later. The whole devil bullshit just fell apart, and these guys did not get elevated at all from it, like Bennett or Taven, and it's unfortunate. Speaking of being elevated, AEW quietly breaks new ground with same-sex couple presentation on Collision. So Tegan Knox and I always forget her name. I always forget her goddamn name. Her wife or girlfriend. They are like visibly an on-screen lesbian couple, and I don't know if any wrestling promotion has ever done that. And instead of this being like hailed or praised or like breaking ground and being, people don't really give a shit. And AEW's done so much silly shit. Well, there's already been girls kissing and stuff, so this isn't breaking ground like the way they maybe could have presented it, or I don't know. Ellen DeGeneres, everyone remembers that, right? She came out as gay, and that shit went crazy. The first gay kiss on television was on one of these, I think it was like Dawson's Creek or whatever, and that's something everyone remembers. The first, they could have broke some ground there, but again, they've done so much ridiculous shit, and girls are already kissing and stuff like that and on those shows, and HLA did it first, pal. So Brian Alvarez, and we were talking with Husey about like PWG and training facility. We touched on it briefly, but AEW recently, according to Brian Alvarez here. So Brian Alvarez, AEW recently moved all of their storage items from Florida over to Nashville. So there's no longer a training ring in Florida. This is notable because that's where the wrestlers would go to work out and try and get cleared. What? Huh? That existed? Not sure what the plan is now. So they even scrapped that. Tony Khan even scrapped their training.
The best guys, Tony Khan.
The fuck is going on? They just don't give a shit about the future of pro wrestling. I really feel that way. Or if they do, they're just misguided. When I say they, I just realistically mean Tony Khan and the people who like champion him and shit. Hopefully they get it together. It to me though, it seems like they're low key trying to push like a PWG is our NXT. Like we're gonna revamp ROH and shit, but like they have ROH, so no one cares about PWG. They don't care about fucking ROH. They're not gonna care about PWG. So. And I know PWG's in Cali, but like realistically, Excalibur works for them. Why didn't they partner with Nuge and then have like ROH doing a YouTube show and touring around to sort of like their house show circuit, and then PWG can just stay in Cali and let some of these guys, like they had it all right there, man. And maybe they could revamp all of this, but it just seems like no, they don't even give a fuck. Not enough people are using the training ring even for it to matter. That's why they scrapped it. I bet there's just nobody even uses that shit or takes advantage of it. But Konosuke Takeshita and Yota Tsuji, speaking of Nuge, they're going to go IWGP World Heavyweight Champion for the IWGP Global Heavyweight Championship. And for the women's titles, it's the same thing. They're doing like the IWGP women's title versus the Stardom title, like winner takes all, or if it's not Stardom, it's I think it's Stardom, yeah. But either way, this is January 4 at the Tokyo Dome. Now, Takeshita and Tsuji rule. If you guys aren't like super into Nuge, I mean, I haven't been recently either. I mean, I can't even lie. I'll for surely be watching this though. You for surely be watching Wrestle Kingdom every year, just to know what's going on. But Takeshita, I mean, he's awesome. Tsuji's awesome as well. You guys can probably tell from the photo. He has like an identical twin brother too, who looks just like him. It's pretty scary actually how identical they are. And I think they pulled like the twin magic once. But either way, they're merging. Like they had this global heavyweight title, and Tsuji's all like, yeah, I want to get rid of this belt and this fucking clown belt Takeshita has, and I want to fucking bring back the old IWGP belt. So I don't know. That would be way cooler than the shit they have. I mean, people say the WWE titles are bad. That's a pretty bad belt. And if you make the argument, well, they do it to appeal to wider audiences so that they can have like New Japan belt can get fucking a deal with NFL teams or whatever in America and toys and stuff, but that's not the case. That isn't what happened when they made it look like that. And then this belt looks cool, but it's just the global champion. Oh, so like the world heavyweight champion? So yeah, title versus title. This book is All Elite. Is the official story of AEW. It's out today and available now. Here's some excerpts. We read some before. So here's them talking about MJF and Adam Cole. There's Tony Khan hugging them. Oh, that's sweet. You can hide in my bathroom. There's Lance Archer, who's like barely featured on the fucking show. He's just a backup dancer for backup dancers on the show when he should be way more prominent, and he's there, featured there. And people were like, Punk and Rhodes are heavily covered. Yeah, no shit, you're gonna have to cover them, but what is heavily covered about them? Like, what does that mean? Are you guys gonna talk about what really happened, or is this just a this wasn't looking bad? Like, read some of these quotes. Let's read these quotes. It's just a glaze fest, and I'm fine with that. Carnies are gonna carny. I've said it before. I called it out before this book came out. If you're going to make a real book, this isn't going to be some cutting edge, like, oh, the backstage. It's just for fucking sickos to buy this book and then glaze AEW some more. That's fine. But those same people who shit on WWE for whitewashing their history and releasing the self-destruction of Ultimate Warrior and like releasing the rise and fall of WCW and like painting their history and Dave Meltzer, oh, they still lie about 93,000, Brian. You guys have to keep the same energy for this book. It's not like this book, they're going to go, oh, yeah, you know, when Rhodes left, we really shit the bed as a company because Tony Khan greatly offended his wife and fucking, and then and people, or allegedly, right? And then when Punk came in, he saved our lives. And then he left, and then the show he was on that he brought in, or I think Rampage got canceled first. They bring in Collision. whatever order it happened in, but he left the company, and then now we're getting outdrawn by fucking indies. There's indies selling 1,800 tickets for indie shows right now with Vince Russo on them, and we can't even sell 1,300 year 6 after Punk left. Like, if they're not going to say that truth, then it's just pulling a Vince McMahon. Do it. Carnies are going to carny. That's my take. Where's anyone coping over this? Where's anyone calling Tony Khan out other than your boy Phil going, what the fuck? This is just a crock of shit. As far as, like, again, just not keeping the same energy. Hashtag free Ali, but freeze Phoenix. Hashtag freeze Phoenix or whatever, you know? It's just, so there, I don't know. There's just these quotes like, there was the opportunity to become something bigger. AEW is opening doors in a major way. What doors did it open? Guys just made a bunch of fucking money. So Tony Khan says, I think pro wrestling at its best can be about all different kinds of rivalries and relationships, friendships and grudges. Wow, how prolific of a thought that everybody fucking realizes. That's why we watch pro wrestling. Moving along, Tony Khan says, this wasn't looking back at WCW and ECW 20 years later and trying to recreate it. We were going to make our own history. Okay. Oh my God. All he's done is recreate the worst of, like, every bad wrestling company. WWE, TNA, WWE, I said WWE twice, because that's how bad it was, pal. At certain points. ECW, right? WCW, he's fucking brought the worst of most of it and clumped it together. So yeah, guys, go and pre-order, or it's already out, pardon me, not a pre-order. Order your copy here of This Book Is All Elite if you want to read more. But again, I called it. I told you guys, it's not going to be, again, they could have broke ground. They could have been the company to go, no, we're going to fucking pull the curtain all the way back. And they don't have to do that. I don't care. But there's no way this is like a compelling read. If you're a fan of AEW, you've already heard all these quotes. You've already heard Tony go, it's great. It's very great. Everything's really great. You've already heard him cope over other companies and shit. Like, what is this for? It's just like his backstage videos. What is this shit for? Who is this for? Just yourselves to, like, Tony Khan to just pat himself on the back and go, we have a book about AEW, which, by the way, will sell 100,000 copies in the allotted amount of time, which then the New York Times will be like, New York Times bestseller or whatever, an Amazon bestseller. Like, that's what it will be. And then he can just sort of, like, weasel his way into the history books, which is fine. I mean, he's not the first rich guy to do that, but I don't gotta like it. You know what I mean? It's fine. I don't gotta like it. Speaking of, that's that shit I don't like. Trios match for $1 million added to Full Gear. $1 million trios match. Come on down. I mean, I'm not against that, but, like, why isn't there a story about this? Why isn't the Bucks' whole thing, they, like, make a one-off goofy graphic on a pay-per-view of their bank account? Why not make it, like, serious, or you, like, a Happy Corbin? Like, $1 million, that's a life-changing cheddar. If you're smart, if you're an idiot with money, you're like, oh, that's fucking, if you're just like a down-to-earth regular guy or gal, $1 million, you're like, well, that fucking takes care of a whole lot, you know? Even for wrestlers. But Tony Khan has no perception of that, so it's just like, $1 million on the line. Bro, people would do Squid Game type activity for $1 million on the line, you know? People do it for less. People get in the UFC cage and fight each other and head kick and elbow each other to shit and choke each other unconscious for way less than $1 million. We're talking world champions, dude. Do it for way less than $1 million. So, I mean, this should be a way bigger deal, but it's just a nothing. It's just Tony Khan like, I know, $1 million in a trios match. Not even like Not even like one-on-one. Well, it's not really $1 million because there's 3 guys. So it's like they have to split it up into $33,333.33. Fucking asshole. Oh, man. So Thunder Rosa addresses breast implant rumors after fan speculation. So again, the sickos be sickoing, and she says, I just gained 6 pounds. I'm packing a lot, in the trunk. The trunk is trunking. I'm packing. People were asking, like, seriously, were asking if I got a boob job, but I just gained weight, Yeah, I mean, Thunder Rosa is like one of the biggest missed opportunities for AEW, and it sucks that the ship has sailed on her likely in WWE, unless they pick her up whenever her deal's done, and she goes to, as far as her tits and her weight, I mean, I'm not even going to comment on that. I'm just talking about she's such a missed opportunity. She could have been like the most over, and at one point I'd argue was babyface women's wrestler on the roster, and with WWE, hopefully maybe she can show up in NXT even as an older wrestler. I'm not trying to fucking shit on her, but I'm just like, okay, 40, you're getting around the 40 mark, you're older in athletics, okay, maybe she could go be a coach and do some AAA stuff as well. I mean, I think she could have been number one, if marketed correctly, women's wrestler in the world with merch and the designs of her face paints, her action figures. You had it right there in AEW. Again, they just fucked it up. Like, they had heat with her. And then, yes, she had a bad injury as well. But, there's rumors of like Britt Baker chased her in a bathroom and she was getting bullied and shit a little bit. And then there was instances where she was accused of bullying people. She shot on Ivelisse a little bit. And, I'm not saying WWE could push her to the moon, but like some of those luchadoras that we saw them, like when AAA crossed over, WWE went with some luchadoras who were a little up there in age as well. All I'm saying is that Thunder Rosa could maybe team with like someone they're trying to get over in AAA, and maybe she could do dates for them over there, coach in the PC, that sort of stuff. I think that'd be awesome. As far as like a main roster run and that, I don't know. I think that shit might have sailed, and it's unfortunate that AEW just did not capitalize on it when it was hot. Speaking of characters that AEW didn't capitalize on, so Brian Cage is set to undergo a 3rd knee surgery after another devastating setback. And this guy has been paid, injured, re-signed multiple times, dude. Multiple surgeries. Like, Tony Khan did not, and he's not going to. He signed his last ever deal with AEW for sure. Speaking of up there in age, because Cage takes care of himself. He's jacked up, but the dude's, I think, in his 40s or circling it. Let's look. Brian Cage, wrestler, age. And again, not shitting on him. He's 41. I think he just signed Tony Khan's throwing dough at him because WWE did want Cage for sure. And again, he's injured, and Tony Khan's keeping this guy and paying him to be, and I'm not even going to shit on it, but a guy that just wasn't used in AEW. Like, if he went to WWE, man, they would have pushed him like fucking crazy. They would have figured out what to do with him for sure. At least give him something more compelling than just like he's a heater in random factions every, so shout out Brian Cage. And this is unfortunate, dude. A 3rd knee surgery. He's been gone forever. And like, when he comes back, is it going to matter? Speaking of, is it going to matter? There's a lot of doom and gloom surrounding Mayor-elect Zoran Mamdani. And he went viral for being an AEW fan. And so Zamdani is a sicko. Ooh, So Raj Giri talked about ratings. We were talking about Nuge. We'll circle back to ratings and attendances and all that. Tomohiro Ishii suffered a dislocated shoulder at a recent AEW event and will miss the forthcoming Nuge cards. So Ishii hurt his goddamn shoulder. Orange Cassidy, John Moxley, and Willow Nightingale flip through the pages of the This Is All Elite book and reflect on the company and its history.
Like, as I'm just flipping through pictures, I'm like, oh yeah, I remember that. And I don't remember anything, and I remember that.
Covers a lot of the kind of the pandemic, Daly's Place.
When I went on my wife's podcast and said that I've never been in a company, they actually left out a quote. When I told my wife that AEW is the whiniest, bitchiest schoolgirl locker room I've ever been in. Oh, did they leave that quote out, Mox?
For a brand new company who was doing really good and selling tickets in all these buildings, and people were excited to come out, and then all of a sudden that just got shut down. If we could survive that, we'd survive anything.
Before I got to AEW, I would still watch it every week, and it makes me a little emotional to think that, like, in such a short time, I feel like it has a really rich history.
In 2020, when I wrestled Pac at Revolution, it was the first singles match I had in AEW. It was on pay-per-view, and it was the first time that I could really show who Orange Cassidy was, who I am.
We all really love this company, and we all have a lot of passion for wrestling.
What makes AEW stand out?
I mean, it's a yearbook. Tony, just hand out a fucking yearbook backstage, give them to Dave, say, send these to all the Observer readers this week in that edition, and just fucking send these to everyone on your fucking mailing list or whatever. Like,
wrestlers like
who's
me,
this for, dude?
Not what you think a professional wrestler is in your brain.
We've had Stadium Stampede matches.
In today's day and age, that's why it's just so, like, I rip on it so hard, because in today's day and age, people like the raw, uncut, the sports based, like, the documentaries like The Last Dance. I don't need to hear about the flu game unless I'm like seeing footage from behind the scenes and hearing the players who were there talk about it. I don't need to hear people just like giving me a Wikipedia entry. It's like the Tupac movie, right? The Tupac movie was just like, okay, they read Tupac's Wikipedia and just showed each of the key things from his Wikipedia. If that's what you're doing in AEW, it's just like a glaze sesh. It's just sort of behind the times. That's all. Like, I mean, I don't know. Some people might pick it up, and obviously these guys are just putting it over. But again, they're not going to include quotes from Mox where he's like, I wasn't even signed to this company, and I don't even have to drop this title to you, punk. I'm doing you a favor. Is that quote in there? Where your fucking champions walking around, Mr. Cool Guy, not even signed to your company, saying, I don't need to, I could go to the other company and shit. On his wife's podcast, you didn't quote that, did you?
In the arena, which I was able to be a part of. My buddy Orange Cassidy was a part of like a mimosa match. Like, that's great.
Like, oh, how awesome is this mimosa match? Bro, what the fuck? You never did another one. Because it wasn't a good idea.
Tony Khan's entire goal, I don't know what he would say if he was asked the question, but from my perspective, is just to put on good wrestling shows that people like.
Seeing new faces who otherwise would have like never received like the praise that they have. AEW, they see the value in.
Okay, hold on. Again, don't diminish these folks, Willow. I love you, but like Brody King, come on, man. They wouldn't have known how to push him in WWE, or Julia Hart.
Like the praise that they have. AEW, they see the value in you.
Or like TNA wouldn't have known what to do with like a Julia Hart. Are you sure about that? You know,
they see it's like, oh, this is something different. There's so much ahead. So it's cool to be at the start of it and be like, oh, I'm making a cool thing. I'm part of it.
And shout out Willow. She's just saying it for what it is. Like, it's, it's a yearbook. It makes me happy that I'm like in this thing that I was a part of, but whatever. I'm gonna miss you, Jericho. So Darby Allin, he was in that little trailer there, and he confirmed in better news that Henry County, Georgia, has given him a plot of land alongside Tony Hawk as well to build a skate park. And Henry County has given us a whole plot of land to build a skate park. I moved here in 2019, and I realized the nearest skate park was 30 minutes away. I was like, this is crazy, because honestly, I wouldn't be here without skateboarding, and I mean that. And they gave us Heritage Park. And so, yeah, Darby and Tony Hawk are teaming up to create the skate park. And opinions on Darby aside in wrestling, I do like what he does with like skateboarding and promoting like stuff for communities and shit like that. You know what I mean? I'll put that over. And everybody was into fucking like Tony Hawk Underground, and that was maybe my era when we were younger. Everyone wanted to be a skateboarder, and like that movie Grind and Tony Hawk Pro Skater and all that shit. So but we talked about Mercedes Monea earlier. And Mercedes Monea is having a world title showdown at House of Glory Wrestling. JD most certainly won't be on the show. I'll be seeing myself out. Mercedes Moné challenges APAC champion Nor Phoenix Diana at Hog Super Clash in Long Island. Phoenix defends her title on U.S. soil for the first time. And poor fucking this girl is going to come here from whatever part of the world she's from and drop her title to Monet or what? God
Sometimes
damn
in life,
it.
you gotta be a hoe.
So I guess this is, I forget where this woman's from here. Let's look this up. Nor Phoenix Diana. And so she's a Malaysian pro wrestler. So shout out Malaysian Pro Wrestling. And she's traveling to the US for the first time and challenging Mercedes Monea. And JD's like, what's in the bowl, bitch? Yeah, it's I wonder if Monet will drop her title, or pardon me, if this Diana, pardon me, I'll call her Phoenix. I wonder if Phoenix will drop her title to Monet, and then does Monet gotta go defend it on the Malaysian pro wrestling circuit? Like, what happens? What happens there? Lex, what happens in this situation?
I don't know.
Me neither. I think she's gonna weasel her way out of defending any of these fucking titles or losing any of these titles, you know. But good for Tony Khan or whoever put this deal together for Monet. Good for them. Speaking of good for AEW, things have not been looking so good in the ticket sales and ratings department. So on November 8th, Collision Saturday at the Bayou Music Center in Houston, Texas. They've sold 1,300 tickets. The setups for 1,350. People are like, well, they sold it out. Yeah, but why can't they go to the bigger buildings anymore, dude? Like 4 years ago, they'd have to go to the bigger building because there's just no heat on any of this shit. So, like, okay, good for them if they sold this out. Like, I'm pumped when AEW does the smaller venues and accepts that. But you can't then turn around and be crying about fucking SmackDown did 4K or whatever, right? I don't want to hear it. JCW just did 2,000 tickets. There's another show here. I think I thought I bookmarked it, but it's called like Buzz Killer Pro Wrestling sold like 1,800 tickets for a show recently. So I don't want to hear shit about it, you know? Like, a Collision should be way hotter than this. Is what it is, though. Speaking of Collision, they scored their lowest 18-49 in show history and their third lowest audience in its time slot on Saturday, courtesy of Raj Giri, against a monster World Series Game 7. Yeah, I mean, I was watching it. It was devastating. The baseball game was devastating if you're a Canadian. Because Canadians all rally together and cheer for the Jays or the Raps whenever they, make it far, but in the playoffs. But yeah, it was a fucking entertaining game though, dude. And back-to-back champions there. But on the wrestling side of things, Collision averaged 217K viewers, and there was no trick-or-treating going on. On the Friday SmackDown, people are shitting all over it because of its low rating, which, okay, you should shit on it. But just to compare the two, there was trick-or-treating and a World Series Game 6 going on that night as well. So I mean, what are we doing here? Why are all the AEW fans mad about the WWE ratings and not worrying more about this? Where were you all to watch this show? Or were you all watching the show and that's exactly how many fans there are left? It's dwindling down. That's the fucking problem. And people don't need to talk about how WWE's cold right now. Okay, it is, sure. AEW's been cold for so goddamn long. Why can we not ever focus on that? Why can no one ever focus on that to try and help it? Especially the people who claim they care. I don't know. So yeah, wrestling overall shitting the bed for their respective beds for incredibly intense and epic fucking sports, right? Alexander Ovechkin just scored the 900th goal or whatever tonight. Like shit's, sports are going crazy right now. And it's expected. Wrestling is going to do lower viewership, especially with shitty shows like SmackDown. Hey, we admit it's shitty. Collision's shitty too, right? So that's why it's like this. Hopefully people can just start admitting that and maybe things will get better on that front. So Dynamite tonight has 1,300 tickets sold. Again, it's the sellout. This is just an updated to show you they did in fact sell out. And then Dynamite Blood and Guts next week, right? They did a house. So they're set up for 4,100 and they've sold so far 3,500 tickets. They'll obviously sell this out. They'll do the 4,000 tickets and good for AEW. Now, again, it sucks when you got to look and go 3,500 tickets for them. 4,000 is like, oh man, AEW crushed it. That fucking sucks because they used to do way better than this. But man, the Blood and Guts, if nothing, proves that it can draw a little bit. Now, if you put the right bodies in there, if you build up to it correctly, if you don't make cringe videos like this one from your hotel room going, we have a big announcement tomorrow, but I'll announce it now. Blood and Guts. Tune in tomorrow to hear the announcement that I just announced now. It's great, right? Then maybe it would have even more intrigue. And if you really build to it correctly. But just to compare again to WWE, their War Games, they didn't have to announce shit, and it sold tens of thousands of tickets. So again, I would worry more about AEW if you're an AEW fan. But I'm gonna stop beating that dead horse. Like it's just, this. I want to compare this to TNA, which we're gonna get into TNA news quickly. I want to compare this to TNA's ticket sales for their next pay-per-view. Because TNA did really good. They did like 7,000, 8,000 for their Bound for Glory event, but their next PLE or pay-per-view called let me see. In TNA, they sold like 2,000 tickets for Final Resolution, and they're only set up for 2,000 tickets. They haven't even sold 1,000 yet. So it's like, where did that heat go? Now, NXT isn't like helping them as well. They're still helping them, but they're not helping them like as much. The invasion sort of cooled down. And I think we'll see more of it. But at the same time, man, it's quite unfortunate that they've only sold like not even 1,000 tickets yet for their December show. You'd think they'd have at least cleared 1,000 early on and then just have to fill the last little bit. So yeah, we're going to just compare to TNA numbers from now on, right? So let's make fun of, we have two more Tony Khan Crange videos. We're watching Dynamite here tonight. There's got to be a setting or something, but this is so fucking annoying. At Thought-W90 became a YouTube member. Shout you out. Ladies and gentlemen, acknowledge me. Almost 300 watching across X and YouTube. Hit like, hit subscribe, hit the heart, hit the retweet thing or whatever. You guys can super chat in or become a member like our good friend here. Become a member, support the channel, support Phil Marks, support PWT, and you get access to Member Monday bonus shows. So every week I do a bonus show, 99 cents, or if you join Patreon, you get access. Thank you so much. And to all the members and everybody here, round of applause to everybody tuning in tonight. And let's run the likes up to 100. It helps the algorithm. Thank you, George Capture. Only 47 likes. We can do better. Likes will keep us together. Okay, so let's get those likes up as well. Thank you guys so much. So the Herd Syndicate are out talking some shit. Speaking of talking shit, we have 2 Tony Khan E-Faps. I can't wait. We had one with Husey. What a special treat that was. Now this one's long. Okay. We have one short one, one long one. Pause. Yeah, speaking of pause, before we get into that, Sassy Girl 7824 gifted 5 Pro Wrestle Clips. Huge support. Thank you so fucking much. That rules. Thank you, Sassy Girl. And shout out everybody who got those. Welcome to the madness. That's the support I'm talking about. And we have some new folks who can join us on Member Mondays. Okay, which we're gonna next week. We're switching it up a little bit on Monday. It's gonna be fun. I got some fun planned. So, ladies and gentlemen, let's get into these Tony Khan E-Faps, and then we will debut the new segment on the show that I've been working on, which I can't wait to bring to you folks. Ladies and gentlemen, here's Tony Khan. This was yesterday, and I'm assuming his hotel room or something. So this is part 2 of the best guys,
Tony Khan.
So let's take a view here.
It's great to see you.
A creep.
I'm here today. It's a busy day in the sports world for so many people following the NFL trade deadline. It's an exciting time for all of us who love the Jaguars. It's an exciting time, but for our fans of all 32 teams, it's a great day and an exciting time. And I just wanted to come on and wish everybody the best. It's November now. It's the start of the holiday season officially.
I'm right there with you, Tone.
And it's a great time in wrestling. It's a great time for AEW. And I've been in New York today at the Sportico conference. My dad was kind enough to come watch me speak, which was above and beyond supportive parenthood. And I was on a panel with some very cool, very interesting, and very well-connected young sports owners, people involved in sports. It was a panel on the next generation in sports. And I figured out something they all had in common that was pretty cool. I was there with Nick Wrestler from the Atlanta Hawks, Hannah Harris, who I know from the Washington Commanders, who's also with the Philadelphia 76ers and the New Jersey Devils, and of course, Crystal Palace. And then with Zach Leonsis from the Washington Wizards and the Washington Capitals. And what I figured out is all 3 of their families with the of course, the Verizon Center, looking back, so many great buildings, but really like looking back at the history of AEW, there's been so many great places we've been, but looking back, I think, first of all, the first Dynamite, the Capital One Arena in Washington, D.C. So that's a cool thing we shared with the Leonsis family.
The Leonsis family. Do I need to Google what fucking... Let me look at this. The Leonsis family. No way that I actually spelt it right. Oh my God, I did. I just guessed and got it. They are prominent in the Washington, D.C. area, with Ted Leonsis being the owner of Monumental Sports and Entertainment and a major figure in technology, sports, and philanthropy. His family is known for significant philanthropic efforts, particularly their support for Georgetown University's entrepreneurship programs. Okay, so CEO of Monumental Sports and Entertainment. He owns the Washington Capitals, and they own the Washington Wizards and the Washington Mystics. Or Mystiques. I'm an X-Men fan, so it's
and then having been to Atlanta and having, of course, run there and having been at State Farm with the Atlanta Hawks, and that's something in common with Nick Wrestler. But then also getting to talk to Hannah Harris, and it's kind of cool because the New Jersey Devils and the Prudential Center are going to be hosting AEW Full Gear very soon. So all three people I was on the Sportico panel with, their families have hosted AEW shows in their arenas, which is pretty cool. And it was amazing to be at this event. And
is it, Tone?
To see the kind of interest there was in AEW from owners of the top sports teams and from the great people at Sportico who were very kind to have me.
Yeah, dude, the Leonis family sound like fucking supervillains in a Bond film.
And it was a great thing, and it's an exciting time. It's an exciting day in sports, and like I said, it's an exciting time for AEW. I think it's been a great year for AEW. We've had great shows throughout this year, and I thought this past week both shows were really tremendous, and I was really proud of the Fright Night Dynamite and the Fright Night Collision that we put on this past week. And you might say, well, what standard do you hold there? How do you know they were good shows?
Thank you, Tone. Thank you, Tone, for and Phil Marks might be wondering. I mean, what standard is that for really great? Well, let me explain. So let's hear finally, Tony Khan seemingly is going to give us some sort of explanation as to what great is. What does great mean? Let's get a curriculum here.
What makes it feel like a good show to you? And I think I go off what the fans say. I really love to hear the feedback. And
what the fans say? Clearly not, bud, because you're fucking hemorrhaging them.
From the AEW fans who watched these shows, it felt like there was really a positive sentiment, and people felt like they liked the shows top to bottom, and we got really good feedback. So I was really happy about that. And November is an exciting time every year for AEW because it's always AEW Full Gear, which I just mentioned will be at the Prudential Center November 22nd. I invited Hannah, whose family owns the Prudential Center, the New Jersey Devils. And
you invited her to her own building.
They run that building, and I said you should come to the pay-per-view. So they may be there too, and that would be great.
That would be great. I need that for the soundboard. And that would be great. Oh, man, it's too good. It's too good. He invited them to their own building to fucking watch the show that they reluctantly have to hold there.
But I'm very happy to be out doing media, talking about AEW. It seems like there's so much interest in what we're doing, and I can honestly tell people our fans are really loving the shows that we're putting on. Last week, the response to Fright Night Dynamite was tremendous. I thought Fright Night Collision was excellent. So many great things in that show. And of course,
the lowest key demo ever.
The announcement of the participants in the women's Blood and Guts match, and Blood and Guts coming your way next week on Wednesday Night Dynamite. That got a lot of attention, as did the high quality of the wrestling on this Collision show.
Tone, you're trying to bring attention to stuff. You're trying to bring attention to stuff. That's what you're trying to do. You're sitting there going, it brought such great attention to who? The people watching this already? We beat it to death, but it's just like, we fucking know. The people watching this already know. They're the ones that you think gave it a lot of attention, and no one cares about those folks, and they're fucking dwindling.
With the CMLL championship match, Mercedes Moné defending the title against Olympia. And of course, Mercedes Moné will be fighting in that Blood and Guts match next Wednesday. Mercedes Moné also competing in the AEW Women's World Tag Team Championship Tournament tomorrow night. And I'll have more to say about that. And
Moné just has it all. Moné just does it all. She's in the Blood and Guts. She's got all the fucking belts. She's in the fucking tag tournament.
Of course, a huge lineup tomorrow night on Wednesday Night Dynamite.
Just artificially making her like this goat in the wrestling biz again, like in this way that only Tony Khan can, because he's like a billionaire.
We'll get to that, but it was a great Fright Night Collision. Mercedes versus Olympia. It was a great match. And I loved Bandito's match with Mascara Dorada for the Ring of Honor World Championship. I thought that was outstanding. I thought that was a great match. And I thought it was a great show. Just really tremendous and great feedback from the fans. And Fright Night Dynamite I thought was excellent. Tremendous event. And I'm very excited for Wednesday Night Dynamite tomorrow night. of course,
it's just all confused. What show are you talking about? Make one video, talk about the one show, and then go.
Last week on Fright Night
and then drop it. Wait a day, make another video for the next show, and then drop it, and then or do it like later in the day.
Dynamite, we saw a four-way match to find out who challenges for the world title and for the tag team championships in these Fright Night four-ways. FTR with a great win, and FTR will.
So there's 2 Fright Night four-ways, right, to crown #1 contenders. And he doesn't get why no one cares about anything.
Was to Fright Night Dynamite with Hangman Page and Samoa Joe, and they'll be on opposite sides tomorrow night on Wednesday Night Dynamite. It's going to be a great Dynamite, and I'm very excited to have Hangman Page teaming with Eddie Kingston and Hook. Hook, who, of course, was squaring off against Samoa Joe in that match last week.
Oh, it's like just drop the graphics on your fucking Twitter and be done with it. Like,
Dynamite.
This isn't. It's not even like he sounds fucking bored. Like he doesn't really care. He just goes, "It's great, it's excellent," but it doesn't sound like he actually thinks that. And so, how are people supposed to get excited with this? Like, he's barely marking out for this shit. And I swear to God, all that he's doing here is, when he is done writing on a paper, like, "Oh, I just wrote Collision. Here, let me make a video for the Collision. It's great." And then he just quickly runs down a sheet of paper. He just quickly wrote these 2 shows in his hotel room. And it's not actually writing shows. It's just, I'm going to put these matches, and then there'll be about this much time left. And then I'm going to fucking fill it with some of these vignettes that are suggested to me, or whatever the fuck. I give it to Chris Daniels and he gives me the times on everything. But it's ridiculous, Tone. Like, I don't get it.
And on Collision, that will help determine who gets the advantage in the women's and men's blood and guts matches. And this is going to start tomorrow, the advantage battle for blood and guts for the women and the men. And we're going to start it tomorrow night on Dynamite. It'll start in the women's blood and guts with Megan Bain, who's now part of a new team with Marina Shafir in the tag team tournament. They had a very impressive debut this past Saturday.
Oh, did they, Tone? Okay, we got to skip ahead. This one's way too long.
She had a battle with the Sisters of Sin last week and a lot of battles with the Triangle of Madness.
Like
Jamie Hayter will go one-on-one on Saturday on Collision versus Sky Blue. Sky Blue and Julia Hart picked up the huge win last.
He's explaining each person and his thought process behind, bro, tell us on the fucking show. Tell us on the show, Tone. And then people will tune in to watch the show every week. Imagine you fucking tell people this and do it in a way where we care about the characters and the storytelling. And then you don't need to even do this. But he just quickly wrote these shows in his hotel room on the fucking notepad. You guys know how they leave in every hotel room? There's like a little notepad with a fucking pen and a Bible. He's writing it on that quickly, calling Mark Maron and going, "Should we flip this upside down? Fuck the Rogan Sphere." And then fucking just like reading it off on Twitter. Who gives a shit? This is why nobody fucking cares. Tell us on TV why we should care about all of this shit and all of the interpersonal dynamics, which don't exist. They only exist because Tony Khan's like Mark-splaining it to us through this fucking video.
Last week, Jamie Hayter will go one-on-one with Sky Blue on Collision. And if necessary, the rubber match potentially will be Tekla versus Harley Cameron. And I'm very excited about that match.
He says it dead serious. Like,
match also. Harley Cameron, of course, has a huge match Wednesday as part of a tag team with Willow Nightingale. The Babes of Wrath going against
the Babes of Wrath. Like, there's too many names. No one knows all this shit, and you're fucking saying too much, babbling too much shit. What group are people part of? And no one gives a fuck. This is crazy. This is crazy. He's just rattling all this shit off before she had a great match with her. What the fuck, man?
Mercedes.
Holy fuck.
Tomorrow night, it's going to start with match 1. Orange Cassidy versus Claudio Castagnoli.
Oh, God.
That's going to be a fantastic battle. I'm excited about Orange versus Claudio, and I think the winner of that match will certainly be in a great position. They'll have the lead in the battle for the advantage in Blood and Guts.
Okay, we got that. The advantages in Blood and Guts. Let's fast forward here to the sign-off, because Tony's just going to babble. His sign-offs are infamous. Let's listen to Tone. We'll give him about 30 seconds here to get to
in Houston, and then I'll also be in Houston for the Jaguars on Sunday. So I'm hoping for a great week, and I know it's going to be a great week for AEW and our fans, and I just really appreciate you all. And again, the Blood and Guts Advantage Battle will start on Dynamite tomorrow night. Thank you for joining me now, and I hope to see you for Wednesday Night Dynamite tomorrow. Have a great, great night, and see you tomorrow for Wednesday Night Dynamite.
Match 1 will be the first match, and then match 2 will be the second match. And then if we need one, the third match will be third.
Hey.
I'm sure. Hey, it's me. Welcome to the neighborhood, friends. So we have one more Tony Khan video. Again, it's him solo before Shivani popped up. Waiting for the camera. This one's only 4 minutes. Thank you for bearing with me tonight. I love doing this, but even that one was like, we got to just skip minutes out of this fucking thing. So here we go. Let's get into some Tony Khan cringe. We have lots more cringe tonight. We're debuting a new segment up next. If you're listening to this in clip form or watching this in clip form, though, here is our third Tony Khan or second of the night time cop. And let's take a listen.
Give me the count.
4.
Give me the count. Let's go. Let's go. He's not ready. Give me the count. Quick, give me the count. Wait, give me my fake glasses quick. I don't even really need them. It's like Drew Carey.
Give me the count.
4.
So he puts on the fake smile. See? Give me the count, quick. You piece of fucking shit. Oh, okay. Hi, guys. I'm here.
Give me the count.
And then he did another one with Shivani. Why wasn't this one good enough?
Hey, it's great to see you all. I appreciate you joining me. It's a big Wednesday, and we're about to go live on TBS just over an hour from now for Wednesday Night Dynamite. The show starts at 8 p.m. Eastern, 7 p.m. Central. We're live on the Superstation, TBS. We are on HBO Max streaming, and we're just 1 week away from AEW Blood and Guts. It's going to be a huge, huge show tonight.
You said this in your other video.
I'm so excited about tonight's Dynamite. I do have an announcement to make about Blood and Guts and about tonight.
So how many takes? Like, does he just go one take? One take Tone over here? I mean, that's what I do. I do the live show. We just go. We go off the cuff here, man. It's not easy to do. One take Tone. He's like, give me the countdown. Then he just rips it and sticks it online. Hey, that's good. Good for you, Tone.
The advantage battle to determine who gets the advantage in the Blood and Guts matches. In the women's Blood and Guts match, we've announced great participants. I had already said that.
Bro, we fucking know there's participants. They're all great, though. You should all know how great they are. Motherfucker, just say with the point. I'm losing my mind tonight.
Unfortunately, due to some injuries, we've had to make some changes in the field. Unfortunately, I'm going to have to make another change, and it affects tonight's show as well. After last week's match, the Sisters of Sin versus Jamie Hayter and Queen Aminata in the AEW Women's World Tag Team Championship Tournament, we saw Queen Aminata. She was, frankly, not 100% at the end of the match. And Queen Aminata had said she was going to be good to compete. She wants to fight. She wants to compete. But today, here at the arena, in the pre-match examinations, the doctors have ruled out Queen Aminata. They do not want her.
Fuck's sakes.
Her to participate.
She's a glorified, like, no offense to her, but she's a glorified jobber. That's because of Tone and his booking. But it's like, fuck, you know, it just sucks for her, who, like, she obviously wanted to be in that match. People like her, you know, she's someone that a lot of folks think could use NXT right about now, and not because of any lack of skill on her end, just she needs something more interesting than just showing up to lose, to be the one to eat the pin. So maybe actually lucky for Queen Aminata. She doesn't got to be the one to eat the pin.
In the advantage battle, and with injuries, the doctors are skeptical and worried about putting Queen Aminata in the Blood and Guts match. She is a competitor. She wants to fight. She wants to go. But after her injuries, I think the right thing to do is for Queen Aminata to be medically taken out of this match, to be removed. And I'm sorry to do it. I know that Queen Aminata really wants to fight. She really wants to take on the opponents in this match. She's had a long-standing issue with Megan Bain, her opponent.
Okay, bro, Tony, stop. Okay, Aminata's out, right? So then don't tell me about whatever problem can't get resolved now that I was looking forward. You know, let's say I am watching the show every week. Oh, now that doesn't get resolved. Don't start selling me on shit that can't happen now. Move on and start selling me the shit that you're trying to sell me. Holy.
Tonight, and in particular, the Triangle of Madness opponents in this Blood and Guts match. I am going to have Queen Aminata step aside, and we are going to have Mina Shirakawa step into this match. Mina has also a lot to fight for. She was very upset to have her undefeated run on Collision ended last week when she was defeated with help from the Triangle of Madness, the Sisters of Sin, by Tekla. And with Mina Shirakawa's closest friend and tag team partner, Timeless Toni Storm, now announcing her participation in the match, Mina Shirakawa has said she wants to step up. Mina will fight Megan Bain tonight on Wednesday Night Dynamite.
What? So Tony Khan, holy, oh my God, listen to this, dude.
You what?
So Tony Khan goes, yo, you know, Queen Aminata can't be in this match. She has beef with Megan Bain. She really wanted to be in this match. But you know what? Here's Mina Shirakawa, who's friends with Toni Storm, and now she's going to fight Megan Bain, and she's going to be in this match, and she's going to...
It's great.
It's like, who the fuck? Bro.
The best guys, Tony Khan.
Like, oh man, this is just for like Dave Meltzer's here writing this all down verbatim. He's just reading Dave's text message to him.
Be Megan Bain versus Mina Shirakawa as part of the advantage battle.
Oh man.
And of course, the huge matches to determine who gets the advantage in the Blood and Guts. All of it starts very soon. It's just minutes away. We got Wednesday Night Dynamite, 8 p.m. Eastern, 7 p.m. Central. And since Mina Shirakawa is going to step up and fight Megan Bain, Mina's partner, Timeless Toni Storm, is going to make her return tonight. And Timeless Toni Storm will be on commentary for that advantage battle match tonight. It'll be Megan Bain versus Mina Shirakawa with Timeless Toni Storm on commentary tonight on Dynamite. And again, Mina is going to enter the field for the Blood and Guts match. We've got a lot of great action.
Listen, man, people say Triple H is a mark for himself because he's like in the commercials promoting the company. And he's a face that all the Attitude Era people who have kids now like grew up as a fan of Triple H and DX and shit. And you know, they're mad that WWE posts videos of him like helping wrestlers produce their entrances and shit, like literally his fucking job, what he's supposed to be doing there, like actually doing his job. And they say that's self-indulgent and pompous and fucking being a mark for yourself. There's nothing more self-indulgent, pompous, and markish than fucking this dude.
Fucking Mark!
Than like sniffing your own farts of these fucking random babbling matches and shit you came up with. Tone, there's nothing more self-indulgent than this. Like, this is just him whacking himself off. Like, no one gives a fuck other than us making fun of this shit. So please keep making these videos. But
so much to look forward to. It's coming up very soon. 8 p.m. Eastern, 7 p.m. Central. Don't miss Wednesday Night Dynamite tonight.
KW, and then he ends like this. Now count me back down, asshole. Are we fucking finished?
Tonight.
Let's see if the fake smile goes away. Oh man, and the guy behind the camera. Do I end now? You fucking asshole! I stood there like an idiot with my thumb out. Holy shit, man! That is funny as all get out. And that, ladies and gentlemen, Ichi Nissan Da for a AEW news rather / Tony Khan is the best guy. And
the best guys, Tony Khan.
That was fucking awesome. So, chat. I have a new segment. So this is a new segment coming to PWT tonight, debuting tonight. It'll be great. And first, here's Chris Jericho.
I look and see it's not just me. So many others have stood where I stand. We are the young, so raise your hand. They call us problem child. We spent our lives on trial. We walk an endless mile. We are the youth gone wild. We stand and we won't fall. We're one and one for all. The writing's on the wall. We are the youth gone wild. Let me get wild. Yay!
So, ladies and gentlemen, this is a new segment here on PWT, and I don't. So, guys, make sure you hit like, subscribe. If you're watching on X, hit retweet, heart, share the video, all that good shit. And I appreciate you all for being here. You guys can super chat in. Check out patreon.com/prowrestletimes or become a member on YouTube if you want to support. Run the likes up for Jericho, but this is a new segment. I don't know what to call it. PWT Unrestricted. I have no clue, but I've been watching the AEW Unrestricted podcast on the AEW Podcast YouTube channel, and I've been taking some notes. Your boy Phil's been busy, and I've been taking notes on this show. Okay. And AEW Unrestricted, it's hosted by Aubrey Edwards. Okay, well, first off, I don't have a drop for this. So if anybody thinks of something or emails me something or tags me in something, I don't know. There's no drop for this segment, but it's where we make fun of the hosts and the interviews of AEW superstars or wrestlers. And it's hosted by Aubrey Edwards and Will Washington. So, you know, this is the most recent episode. I'll be going back and doing from the first episode and all of the episodes, right? But this is the most recent one featuring Kyle O'Reilly, right? And this show is hosted by Aubrey Edwards and Will Washington. And Aubrey, throughout it, obviously she overacts. And she does the theater kid stuff throughout the show. And I thought that would be the funniest part, right? But what's equally as funny, depending on who you ask, is Will Washington and his lack of confidence and charisma when interviewing people. And these people basically work for him. And that's why I chose to essentially Jocktober or WATP, Hate Watch, whatever you want to call it. Hate log, whatever, this show, because these wrestlers come on this show and they work for Will Washington. Essentially, he's on the creative team and shit. So, he's in the office and he's over here on this pod marking out over these wrestlers that come on his show that he knows, and I'm assuming he sees when he goes to work and that he writes for and all this shit. And so this podcast, I mean, it does abysmal numbers. This came out 2 days ago. Kyle O'Reilly. It has 638 views. AEW Podcast is the name of the channel, which also Aubrey and Will Washington plug incorrectly, I believe, when they say the name of the channel. They call it the wrong thing, which we'll get into. But, I mean, 5.5K subs, and I'm not here to knock anybody's subs or anything like that, but this channel's been around for a while. They've been doing these for a while. You got less fucking views. And if I interviewed Kyle O'Reilly, we'd get more views than this. You know what I'm saying? And I mean, the fucking main channel's got more subs than this channel. You guys have been doing this. You have access to all these AEW wrestlers. You're in the office. You'd think this could be, again, something compelling, but it's not. It's just here. It's just this thing that exists to fucking glaze AEW, which, again, it's their in-house podcast, so that's fine, glaze AEW, but you don't even get a chance to see another side of these wrestlers or anything. It's just them going over, much like Tony Khan's cringe videos, It's just them going over shit that people have already seen and patting themselves on the back for shit that like didn't really get over, and like, okay, did any of this change games or anything? And the whole time you have to remember Will Washington's there. Like, it's just wrestlers coming on the show and glazing their creative that Will Washington's responsible for, which we actually touch on in the show. So I have timestamps, okay? I have timestamps here. We're not just going to sit here and watch this whole 40-minute affair, although there is quite a bit. I do have quite a few timestamps. We are going to start at 0000, and we are going to watch the intro here, and we're just going to let the intro play for a second. And then we'll jump ahead, we'll jump around, and yeah, I hope you guys enjoy this. So here's oh great, it's all so great. And so coming right up here, because they just sort of well, here, let me just show you, because we're a few seconds away. Now, typically during the intro, if it's just mundane, I'll cut shit out, but just listen to how they feed to Kyle O'Reilly, who's the guest on this show. Okay? Because we have to consume this all. It's the first edition of this segment. So I want you all to just kind of get the vibe of like how bad they are at pitching to the commercials and this group called the Conglomeration. Right? And it's like nobody in the Conglomeration has anything in common with each other. They're all different characters. It's a group of 10 people just thrown together. Okay. And this is how Will Washington's like, this is my favorite group to talk to. Why? They're all random individuals. It would just be like saying, I like to talk to everyone on the roster. And why? Because this is an idea I guarantee you that Will Washington came up with. How about the Conglomeration? We just throw all the wrestlers who have nothing going on for them, that we can't think of anything right now. They're just in this group. And it's like the good guy group called the Conglomeration. That has to be why he's so happy and these are his favorite people to talk to. Because what else could it be? Oh, I really like DX because they say fuck you to authority. I love the Nation of Domination because they stand up to the man. I love the Kabuki Warriors because I really love Japanese wrestling and the Joshi style and all of their backgrounds. I really love the Conglomeration. I really love how they're all just different characters thrown together in a fucking group. Why else would he love it? And Kyle comes in, hey, what's up? And it's like Kyle O'Reilly is more notable as like a Ring of Honor guy than a Conglomeration guy. They could have been like, oh, a former Ring of Honor stud or whatever, you know, there's so many other ways to get him over, but it is what it is. But we move on a little bit. Okay. So at 4:40 here, let's go to a timestamp here. At about 4:40, Will asks Kyle O'Reilly a question. And then Kyle goes to give the answer. And then as he's answering it, Aubrey and Will interrupt Kyle to make the point that he's literally trying to make. And then Aubrey dances. So they like interrupt him.
See, it was with John Moxley, my most recent match now. So yeah, I feel like I actually have finally.
So what was that? She was like she did like a full circle, I guess. I don't know. She's doing dance moves and shit. She's signing for the fucking hearing impaired or whatever. And they interrupt him to be like, oh, that match was in Kansas too. And it's like, yeah, he's in the middle of saying that, you assholes. So we move ahead here where Kyle talks about his injury that kept him out for a long time and how it affected his life. Okay. And Kyle points out that's time he would have missed with his daughter. And we'll go from there, and then I'll chime in a little bit with some thoughts. But he talks about like his injury and his time off and what he got to accomplish during that time off. So he's like, dude, that's time I never would have had back. I would have been on the road and juggling wrestling. Like wrestling's the thing you juggle and not the home life in AEW, which is a good thing. I mean, that's a benefit. I think parents should be there for their kids and shit. But think about how some of the old school guys, why they would hear that and be like, what the fuck? Are you guys mental? Like fucking wrestlers today are soft. Think about why that would be the fucking notion. And they all but confirm this throughout this podcast. And yeah, we'll continue along.
As well as that. So it was, it's crazy how life and the universe kind of hands you little treats here and there when they seem like the worst thing.
The treat to O'Reilly, the treat is, hey, dude, my arm might not work again, but fuck, I mean, I'm getting paid a shitload of money to go be with my daughter. And I don't even got to wrestle. It's just very telling about how wrestlers view AEW. And then Will Washington responds here. He just has a funny response. Let's take a look. O'Reilly coming back and Sting being on the same show. There's a saying there. I don't know what it is. Hey, LA Knight, what's that saying?
Dummy. Yeah.
It was kind of a full circle night for everybody in AEW because I think everybody was super excited to see you back.
Full circle. I don't think that's it either, Will. But everybody was excited to see Kyle back. But that's why I brought up Sting and how everybody was excited to see Sting there. And it's like, what are you talking about, buddy? And O'Reilly's sitting here like, what are you talking about?
And
he's like, yeah, for sure, man. So like two things here. One, it's a fucking podcast. Like, why interrupt it to pitch to the ad that way? Like, the whole point of a pod is you can just talk. And it's like, why not just insert the ad and edit around it so it doesn't fuck up the flow? And then you went right to the same thing. And it's filmed so that you cut and come back. So why wouldn't you just move the topic along? Like, that's your out. Oh, I don't have any. That's wild. Isn't that great? So you're out for 4 years. Yeah, he just spent the whole segment talking about that. So even if you didn't have anything to add, which she clearly didn't with the hell yeah, bro, totally. She was like, oh, sweet. You know, that's your excuse to switch topics. So continuing along with this here, Aubrey and Will mention how so much has changed in AEW, but they don't name one thing again. They just bumblefuck nothingness trying to make a Joker quip. And that's when Kyle O'Reilly makes a shocking admission, something I've been saying the whole time about the conglomeration and the overarching problem in AEW. So O'Reilly in this next clip, he exposes a little more about AEW and how like their shit is filmed backstage and stuff and within the conglomeration. And these guys all laugh about this shit. Like it's all good and all funny that no one knows what the fuck they're doing and everybody's just making shit up and he doesn't even know what's going to happen when he's on TV. Like he's like, I don't know what these guys are going to do behind me while I'm cutting a promo and shit. And it's like, there can be an element of that, but fuck sakes, man, everything's just done on the fly.
It's an absolute blast.
And he also reveals like he'll be on a Dynamite and he'll explain this. He's like, we'll be on a Dynamite, wrestles, and then all of a sudden Tony will be like, and you guys are wrestling on Collision tonight too, taped after Dynamite. Oh, okay, I guess we're wrestling tonight. It ever in pro wrestling. It was just guys standing around doing shit nobody fucking understands. Okay? It's a group of random standing together. Then she asks him what he's learned from the group. And it's like, Aubrey, this isn't a real faction. This is a group of 12 guys. She's about to ask him, okay? Not to jump the shark, but she asks him, what did you learn from working with these guys? And I just can't handle it. It's like, dude, these guys get thrown together to film backstage shit because there's nothing for them as individuals. And O'Reilly gives a funny, almost cope answer. Goofy gaga garbage will say it. Like he can't even say it. This is AEW Unrestricted. You mean super Ziploc fucking restricted? Like, what the fuck? Are we getting snipped from this? Ain't no fucking way, dude. Ain't no fucking way.
Smiling, charming.
Did we get snipped for this one? Oh, man. We're locked up, won't let us out. Down and won't let us out. Yeah, so someone got word of this during Dynamite here. It's all good, baby. It's all good, baby, baby. When chat tells me that I'm back. Do. Let me know when you guys hear that I'm back. Let me know when you guys hear that I'm back. Let me know. See, here's the thing, right? Do. We're all okay. We're in this together. Do 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 do. We're back. Are we back? I'm here. Are we back, chat? I'm here. Don't fear. See, this just in. I just received confirmation. I don't know if you guys knew this,
Just in,
but
we have confirmed that Dave Meltzer fears PWT and flutes.
and so does
The
Tony
best guys, Tony
Khan.
Khan.
So, yeah, somebody just tried to snipe it. So don't worry, it's not a strike. It's not like any of the channel's doomed or anything like that. It's just a matter of I had to stop playing the content, I believe. So there you go. We got some angry geese at PWT. Clearly someone caught wind of it. Okay. And it just goes to show you, man, we push the line here at PWT. This is the greatest goddamn show in pro wrestling internet history. Maybe Jim Cornette's got us beat statistically, but if you count the Telemundo numbers, there's 30% people viewing this. We're not dead. We're here. We're here.
It's not fake.
And yeah, so that segment may be cooked for the evening. Ladies and Aubrey, I didn't like that. Don Callis didn't, or Don, what's it? Don Stevenson or whatever, didn't like it. Right? You know what
Sometimes
they
in
say.
life, you gotta be a hoe.
Guys, like, subscription, super chat for that shit. We go hard in the paint here. So, guys, I think, actually, I don't think I know that this content that I'm bringing you guys is transformative enough. I know it for a fact, but again, dude, the show's so dangerous. We get sniped. The Halloween special got sniped too, if you guys were watching it on the live premiere. And again, I thought, I was doing commentary over Chucky stuff and Kane's kill count. We got sniped, but AEW, obviously Dynamite's on. They don't need us hating on them right now. So it's unfortunate, but lucky for you guys, I'm a professional. I'm a fucking profesh. I got tons more bits we can do. So fuck them. We will finish that. Okay. And I don't have a fucking drop for that, but we will finish that segment. Okay.
We got a couple haters.
We will finish that segment. It can't be tonight, or else they will just auto snipe the fucking stream again, right? But I will repackage it. We got to transform it a little bit. It was transformative enough. 100% without question. They're just getting a little sensey in their fifis. So that's okay. Hey, we deal with this. This segment, we'll finish this another time. And this is the first ever edition. Round of applause for the first edition of PWT. It was almost done, too. There was just a couple more timestamps with some juice in there. Some really, really good shit, too, to cap it off. Some really great stuff. But, hey, it is what it is. You live and die by the sword. And we'll finish that. Don't worry, whether I do it in recorded form and I transform it even more. This will be especially because of that, because why else did we get sniped like that? Clearly someone in their fifis. And yeah, I can't wait to bring you more of PWT Unrestricted. I guess it's
Are you sure about that?
I don't know. Okay, no, it will work, I promise. And yeah, I had 3 more timestamps. It's a goddamn shame. Round of applause for the first segment. I thought it was fun. I had a blast. And there's more. Oh, don't worry. There is more. And I will just approach those segments a different way so we don't get sniped live for it. But yeah, that was a good old time. Speaking of good old times, guys, why don't we just run it back and we fall back into the good old fashioned and damn, we had like 300 some people watching as well. And then it fell down for a minute. So hopefully people jump back on and realize we're back on the air. Everything's good here, all under control. I had Tones people call my people, right? And it's funny because I'll promote that fucking pod more than anybody's promoting it. Like I'll get more eyeballs on it when I clip it and shit. All good though. All fucking good. We'll just do that on PWT pod or something like that. Okay. So ladies and gentlemen, bad news in the chat. Get some Union Jacks in the chat.
Ladies and gentlemen, I'm afraid I've got some bad news.
It's miscellaneous news time. So the legal case involving wrestling legend Too Cold Scorpio has hit another delay. According to new court filings in Kansas City, Missouri, the trial for Charles Too Cold Scorpio Skaggs has officially been rescheduled. Following a request from the prosecution, the court has set a new trial date from January 26. The case was previously set to begin November 3rd after already being postponed from its original June start date. So, yeah, I don't even know. What did he do? I don't even know what he did, but awesome in-ring talent. CJ Perry is launching a podcast, and she announces who her first guest is going to be. I mean, I like CJ Perry. I like Lana. I like her when she's with Rusev, but I mean, who cares? Are you just going to bot views and shit? Because that's no one wants to hear it. Sherilyn Guerrero, the daughter of the one and only Eddie Guerrero, is beginning her pro wrestling journey, and she is signed to ROW, being trained by Booker T. So hopefully she gets developed well, and hopefully we see her and Dirty Dom cross paths in some capacity. The return to the Windy City. So at House of Glory Wrestling, for surely a show that JD won't be on. I'm over here now. They moved me off the show. I'm on the B Squad. Those whoas. So Tyler Breeze is taking on the Amazing Red. So that's kind of like if you're a Smark, that's a dream match. Speaking of indies, MLW and Don Gato Tequila, Lucha de la Muertos, November 20th at the Charleston Music Hall. And they're set up for 600 seats, and they sold 463. So there you go. Trying to bring, I like what WrestleTix is doing, really just covering everything in the indies and shit more. Vince Russo, bro, I swerved everybody, bro. Start watching JCW Lunacy before I get there, bro. Get acquainted with the great cast of characters created by Violent J himself, bro. And the coach responds to this and says, I have to make this public. I've been friends with Vince Russo, and then as became partners, our show, that's how he worded it. Our show is a hit and is growing every week. But honestly, the fact that he did not offer me a spot with JCW Lunacy now, or he says simply because I'm one of the best heels ever on the mic, etc. Bro, I told you, motherfuckers, bro. Remember what I said? Jonathan Coachman seems like he wants a job too. That's all it sounds like. And then the first thing he throws out, like, I get it, they're bros, bro, and they both love wrestling, bro. But it's like the first joke you throw out is, I'm surprised I didn't get a job too. It's like, oh, come on now, Eric. That's not
come
very
on
fair.
now, Eric.
This isn't a healthy AEW. We're not just handing out jobs to every ex-WWE employee, Eric. So funny that the coach threw that out there. It's like, huh. So Mercedes Moneza, ex-husband Serath Khan, marries Miranda Knesevich in a private ceremony. So he remarried. She's moved on to Beast Mortis, and he still designs outfits, I guess, for the WWE superstars. And she's like a physical therapist or some shit like that. So good for him. Speaking of WWE affiliates or legends, JBL returned, and he hit a clothesline from hell on Velveteen Dream buddies at MCW. Velveteen Dream. So JBL doesn't give a fuck. We'll go mix it up with the Dream. Like, whatever. It's a paycheck. He just shows up, clotheslines someone, leaves, probably makes fucking $500 or whatever. So he gets over for clotheslining the shit out of Velveteen Dream, but I wonder he's not worried about any stink getting on him. I guess people aren't outraged about it. I'm not. I mean, it is what it is. I don't have to like the fucking guy, you know. Velveteen Dream can be a fucking weirdo, and I can support JBL. But Jeremy Padawar posted this. The founder of LJN Toys has died at the age of 98. You guys remember LJNs? Norman Joel Lewis was a pioneer in the toy licensing industry. Co-founding LJN Toys, his initials backwards, including the launch of WWE at LJN. Norman mentored Jack Friedman. Jack Friedman mentored me. Condolences. Thank you. And Matt Cardona gives his condolences. Speaking of condolences, we should send good energy to Luke Menzies, FKA Ridge Holland from WWE. He says that he never thought he'd not be able to pay his mortgage. And he says, I feel like I've just been hung out to dry after getting injured, working for another company on behalf of WWE. Add that to my contract not being renewed, knowing that I wouldn't be able to wrestle for 7 months. This is brutal. Yes, they are taking care of the surgery and physical therapy, but let's be honest, that's the bare minimum after what we sacrificed for the company. Plus the possibility of having to get my neck fused too. Talk about getting totally fucked. Yeah, so he's really like, fuck WWE. I mean, he's not outright saying that, but he's saying like, you know, they fucked me. And that might as well be saying fuck WWE to a lot of people in the business world. Now, you guys know my thoughts on this. Business is business. It is bullshit. If I was the one controlling all the monies, I'd fucking pay the guy. But again, it's not a charity. So other people have things too. I see it from both sides. But if Tony Khan wants to be one of these like save face guys, you bring Ridge in whenever his deal's up or whenever the 7 months of whatever, bring him in and maybe win some fans over. You know, he's going to be a game changer. It's nothing like that, but okay, bring him in as like a coach or so. I don't know. They need a fucking training facility. I'm not saying everyone's dying to see Ridge, but like just show you're not a complete sicko or all that virtue signaling shit everybody did, right? Tony's where everybody goes to get money. So Tone, here's a guy who needs some. You gave some to Rita Chatterton. Fucking here you go. Here's a guy who needs some, or does he not do enough flips for you? So speaking of JBL, and we talked about this with Husey earlier, but JBL predicts that Vince McMahon will release a Raw tell-all book within the next 1 to 2 years. And again, it's going to be fake history. Like it'll be, even if Vince like tells crazy stories and shit, it's not going to be like, you know, he'll just try and make himself look good. That's what everybody does in these books, right? It's like Becky Lynch in her book. She's like, I was a victim and AJ Lee treated me like shit. When realistically, you all are good. Like, look, you're all millionaires now and shit. So Vince isn't going to like, he might tell some wacky stories, but I don't think he'll do anything to like incriminate himself or make himself look bad or vulnerable, you know?
Never write a book.
Oh, come on now, Eric. Come on now, Conrad.
You think, I mean, and if he's not.
Come on now, JBL. Chat me up about the first time you clothesline from hell somebody.
Quote unquote in power with WWE. I don't know that he can necessarily license footage to really tell the story. Do you think there's a chance that we would ever hear Vince's side of things like this sort of unvarnished in the future? Or is he just a windshield guy and never looking in the rearview mirror?
I'll give you the over under on the book in 2 years.
What does that mean?
Maybe one.
So like Vince is clearly working on one, if that's what JBL's saying.
Probably not one. I don't think you can write it that quick.
But you think there's a chance that 2 years from now we've got a book?
I think there's probably a 99 to 100% chance.
Okay. Well, all right. Didn't expect to hear that.
Yeah. I think there's unless something happens, I think there's nothing's 100%. As close to 100% as you can get in the next, I would say 1 to 2 years, you're going to get a book. And I have a feeling it's going to be beyond belief. I have a feeling it will be raw and it will be completely no freaking hiding and nothing. I think Vince is going to let everything out, and I think it's going to be one of the best books ever written.
Air everything out. Oh, come on. That's not very fair. He's not going to talk about shitting on those ladies' heads. Yeah, I don't know if he's not going to obviously make himself look bad in any way. Memphis Wrestling announced that Marco Stunt will be joining the promotion as an on-screen talent and mentor. So good for him. They must have saw his car commercial and were like, hey, we could throw this guy a bone. He's getting a little bit of virality out of that car commercial. But again, like Marco Stunt, I don't know if that's the guy I would want mentoring wrestlers in my locker room, but hey, he's got a gig now. Good for him. So I talked about this a little earlier. Banger Zone Wrestling. Banger Zone Wrestling, that's the name, has announced that their recent BZ weekend set a new record with over 1,800 tickets sold, more than Dynamite, across all events, making it the biggest French-speaking wrestling weekend. And so it was over a couple nights. Okay. Both BZW Bangover and BZW Deadline were completely sold out. And speaking of AEW, I think Jay Lethal was on the show and some other cats. And that, ladies and gentlemen, was miscellaneous news.
Ladies and gentlemen, I'm afraid I've got some bad news.
We do have a bit of here's some TNA stuff as well that we might as well talk about from this last week here. So everybody, a good old countryside banjo for a TNA news. So TNA couple Steph DeLander and Mance Warner got married. So SDL with a $ ho got married. Here's a clip of Cardona, I guess, was the ring bearer.
We'd have the ring.
Step on my barrel.
So congrats to them. Indy Hartwell, you see there as well. TNA, though, Ash by Elegance made some news because she showed up at BRCW Women's Championship Wrestling and vacated her title here. And then somebody surprising came and won it that night.
Something that is extremely difficult, so bear with me. I have to make an announcement that I am not medically cleared to compete. So with a heavy heart, I have to forfeit this title. To do something that is extremely difficult, so
extremely difficult. So, and then Shayna Baszler showed up and she won the title after Ash by Elegance vacated it. So good for her. I guess she's producing an NXT / wrestling on the indies. Ash by Elegance sends warning after Instagram shadow bans her for suggestive posts. Okay, so now she's out there thirst trapping, which is fine. You know, but she's like, she goes, way to start a Monday. Woke up to see that I've been shadow banned. I just don't get what people mean when they say shadow banned. Now, I'll say this. I get a lot of comments recently of people like, dude, your shit's not showing up in my, it's not showing up in like when you drop and stuff like that. So it's like, I don't know, hit the bell. I don't really believe in like, we're shadow banned, man. The man just doesn't want to see. It's like, unless you're botting your account and shit, I just really don't think that happens the way people think. Now, there is, like, if you type in, there are some people, though, you go to type them in to search them, and they don't come up to, like, 10 down. And you're like, what the fuck? There's all these. Now, is that because, like, of what you interact with? Or is that because, like, of shadow banning? I don't really know. But you know, she says, ladies, more than likely your photos have been too. Even my wrestling photos were flagged. So being flagged doesn't mean like you're shadow banned. It's just shadow ban means they're secretly banning you like the government is and shit, like what they were doing on Facebook, allegedly, right? She posts a screenshot here and it's just a bunch of her pictures and shit have been flagged. Because they're cracking down on like suggestive content, I guess, on Instagram, which, I mean, you could consider that a W. We're in the age of degeneracy, a lot of people say. But, you know, that aside, they're using AI to do it. So, yeah, wrestlers in your wrestler gear, like especially lady wrestlers these days where, you know, them thangs are thanging and them cheeks are cheeking. It's like, yeah, you're going to get flagged for that. I don't know. I don't know what to tell people. I don't know why that's a fucking shock to them. But yeah, they're using AI to do it. So, I mean, until they refine it, yeah, you're all likely getting flagged. But is a flag, that's not a shadow ban. So I think she misspoke there. Moving along here, we have a couple TNA updates. So TNA announced via press release that they've signed a license agreement with Claro Sports to deliver exclusive TNA content to viewers throughout Mexico and Latin America. So I wonder if WWE is going to allow them to get some AAA talent on those shows. And they're making a play, like there's content exclusive for them on what? Social media? Do they have, you know, this is just nothing but good things for TNA. But unfortunately, the hype for TNA, like we look at Final Resolution, they're only set up for 2,100 and they've only distributed 950 tickets. Now, I'm not saying every show after Bound for Glory should be 6,000 people, but like, damn, I thought the hype would be alive a little bit more. But since the invasion stuff sort of has subsided for now, you know, has taken the back seat for now. I mean, there's elements of it, obviously, it won't go away, but, and then the fact there's like the Gold Rush tournament involving all the companies, like that's always going to be a part of it moving forward. But just I was hoping they would start doing like 1,000 for their TVs and like their pay-per-views, maybe up to around, you know, 3,000-4,000 a show. I was hoping it would do something like that, but no, they're going to have to fight and scratch and claw some more. And hopefully they lock. I thought we were getting a TV deal announcement sooner than we have, although Carlos Silva's made it pretty clear, like early on in 26, we'll hear something about it. But interesting to say the least. And then TNA Wrestling posted this: when a challenge is issued, it must be accepted. Open Fight Night returns. So this is just a cool marketing ploy. And if you get open challenge, like if you're there and you get challenged, you have to accept it. It's just a unique way for them to put on some matches, you know, give people maybe some title matches that you didn't see coming or whatever. But hey, that's tomorrow or maybe not tomorrow. Time Cop, right? Depends when you're listening to this clip. But yeah, hopefully TNA can put it all together, right? And continue to build, because this isn't like doom and gloom for them either. But that hype sure did sort of fall by the wayside a little bit. That was TNA news, ladies and gentlemen. Chat, I want to thank everybody for being here tonight. Round of applause for you all. Round of applause for Husey showing up all the way last minute, just popping in from Ireland there. That was amazing. Thank you all for being here. I mean, the show is going to be another, 20 minutes at least, 15 maybe, but we got sniped. But don't worry, that PWT Unrestricted segment's coming back. Jeff Farmer, full force. Now we're going even harder. Okay? Because I don't like that. I don't like that they don't like people getting eyeballs on their shit. You know what I mean? So we're going to be petty. Guys, hit like, hit subscribe. I appreciate you all. Become a member. Tomorrow, Dave Meltzer, Dumb Moment of the Week, hashtag DMDMW. It is live at around the same time. You guys on the East Coast, it's an hour, whatever the fuck. It's an hour ahead of me. So it'll be about 6 p.m. Eastern, like it always is. That's what time it'll be on. Dave Meltzer, Dumb Moment of the Week, featuring Brian Alvarez, hashtag DMDMW, tomorrow night, live on YouTube, and then the audio wherever podcasts are. And yeah, thank you all for being here. It was an amazing evening. Thank you, chat, for being great. Everybody, Husey as well. Check him out at the Husey Entertainment. I'll be over on his channel as well soon. Look out for me over the Christmas time. He was pitching there. I'm going to be on a bunch of shows with him over the holidays and whatnot. So make sure you guys check that out. And until next time, I bid you all adieu. I'll see you in the Upside Down. I'm going to go watch some Stranger Things. Peace.
I look and see it's not just me.
Jeff, why do you insist on doing this dumb internet shit on TV?
I look and see it's not just me.
This place is a fucking joke, man. You're a clown. I quit.
So many others have stood where I stand. We are the young, so raise your hand. So many others have stood where I stand. We are the young, so raise your hand. They call us problem child. We spend our lives on trial. We walk an endless mile. We are the youth gone wild. We stand and we won't fall. We're one and one for all. The writing's on the wall. We are the youth gone wild.
No. It doesn't make logical sense, but it makes.
Well, yes, of course.
But it makes wrestling booking sense. Of course, this makes no sense. Of course, okay, it makes no sense. However, in pro wrestling booking, which often makes no sense, you would do that. It's about making money. It's not about anything else. Wrestling has always been about making money first and foremost. That's it.
I look and see it's not just me.
Last weekend was the greatest weekend in AEW history. This is the greatest week.
I look and see it's not just me.
My security, my safety, my life was in danger at a wrestling show.
So many others have stood where I stand. We are the young, so raise your hand. So many others have stood where I stand. We are the young, so raise your hand. They call us problem child. We spend our lives on trial. We walk an endless mile. We are the youth gone wild. We stand and we won't fall. We're one and one for all. The writing's on the wall. We are the youth gone wild. They call us problem child. We spend our lives on trial. We walk an endless mile. We are the youth gone wild. We stand and we won't fall. We're one and one for all. The writing's on the wall. We are the youth gone wild. Get wild. Yeah.
If you're familiar with how we do things often here on these Wednesdays, it's a lot like one of my favorite movies, Time Cop.
What? Fuck you. Fuck you.
Yeah.
Damn it.